Naruto, starting the live broadcast to the ninja world. Hello again, dear adventurers of the multiverse. Thanks for joining us once more on this epic journey. Remember, this story is pure science fiction from our wild imagination, so don't go trying to summon dragons in your backyard. The rights of this amazing novel belong entirely to its original author, we are only the narrators. Do you want more adventures? Show some love to our YouTube channel with a subscription and a like. And if you'd like to support us and access extra content, we are now on Ko-Fi with open arms. Chapter 26 I Don't Understand. Awakens Orochi held his waist when he saw Madara just now. His waist was sprained. Anbu? Anbu, here. Tsukage-sama, Orochi said sincerely, notify everyone that I will convene a 5-cage meeting. The ninja world needs to unite to fight against Uchiha Madara. Yes. Lord Tsukage, right. Wait. After Orochi called the Anbu to stop him, he added, as one of the 5 great ninja villages in the ninja world, Awakens has the obligation to protect the savior of the ninja world. Send the message that anyone who dares to attack Naruto will be an enemy of our entire Awakens village. He had witnessed Uchiha Madara's strength before, which was powerful enough to make people despair. What's more, the person he will face in the future is Madara, who possesses the Rinnegan. His dust release had a chance of destroying Madara, but since they hadn't fought before, he couldn't be sure. Therefore, we must be adequately prepared before future crises come. They still have time. Muai village Uchiha clan land. Fugaku was originally disappointed with Sasuke's talent, but after seeing this video, he realized that he was wrong. The future Sasuke is very strong. Stronger than the current him and Itachi. Fugaku turned to look at Sasuke, who was crying in Mikado's arms, and his heart couldn't help but ache. Fortunately Sasuke is still alive. Kazan, I just died like that. Woo woo woo. Mikado's eyes were also a little moist. She gently stroked Sasuke's head and soothed him softly. Sasuke, be good. Remember, no matter how confident you are in your own strength, don't take risks easily in the future. Sasuke had 2 big tears in his eyes and nodded heavily. Yes. I understand. Kazan, Fugaku sighed. He stood up and walked towards the door. I have something else to do, so I need to go out for a while. Mikado looked at his back and said, what's wrong? Mikado, never mind. Fugaku nodded and continued walking towards the door. Mikado used a tissue to wipe Sasuke's nose. In fact, what she wanted to ask just now was, aren't you going to comfort Sasuke before you leave? Someone in Konoha village sighed. What happened today seemed like a dream. Yes, we are all characters in a story, and there are really pictures of the future of our ninja world. This. How can anyone accept this, you say? Is there a possibility? The world the anchor is in was also created by a higher being? Their history, culture, etc., are just a story to those higher beings. Sai Hokage's office. Sarutobi rose and took a puff of his pipe and spoke slowly. Although the future Sasuke doesn't wear a Konoha Ford protector, I think he is an Uchiha who is worthy of our trust and training. The Ford protector may have just been accidentally removed in a battle. After all, those few may not be the only ones who were brought out of the impure world reincarnation. Future Sasuke died protecting the ninja world. He was a hero, so his character is certainly trustworthy. After saying this, Shikoku saw Danzo was about to speak, so he quickly added, this can be seen from the attitude of the first and second generations towards Sasuke. It can be seen that they also attach great importance to Sasuke. Mizuta Minen agreed with this. Shikoku is right. The first generation master is easy to understand, but the second generation master can still scold Uchiha Madara for Sasuke, which shows how much he values Sasuke at this moment. Even Danzo felt that what Mito Menon said made sense to talk about how much the second generation Hokage hated the Uchiha he once said in person. No. Although his disciples could still see it more or less, a little, the second generation said that he just wanted to channel the Uchiha clan's abilities towards contributing to the village. This is the will of the first generation, and he, the second generation, is doing his job. Cultivate the thoughts of the Konohagakure ninjas, let them transcend the narrow tribalism of their clan, and devote themselves wholeheartedly to the village. This is also one of the reasons why the second generation disbanded the Senju clan. He wanted to set an example first. As for the other reason, it is that the Kainshao people have never paid attention to family bloodline and have been intermarrying with outsiders, resulting in impure bloodline and a decline in all aspects of the Kainshao people's abilities. After the Senju group was disbanded, even Tsunade could no longer be called Senju Tsunade. In the end, the second generation sacrificed himself for the village. This is a man who gave everything for Konoha. Sarutobi rose and fell into thought. He murmured, The reason why the first and second generations valued an Uchiha with a Mangekyou Sharingan so much couldn't be because of his strength, so, Yuta Tenkaru continued, then, Sasuke should be the Uchiha who, in the eyes of the second generation sensei, transcends the narrow-minded thinking of the clan. Just like Kagami and Shisu, Midaman agreed, what Kaoru said makes sense. But the Uchiha problem, boom boom boom, just then, there was a knock on the office door, interrupting what he was about to say. Enter, Blue Star. After the live broadcast ended, Qiu Li symbolically watched 2 videos. It is worth mentioning that one of the videos broadened his horizons and also shattered his 3 views. This is the scene when the Edo World War II Sarutobi Hiruzen saved Naruto. What's important is not the video, but the comments section. When the original author drew this scene, his starting point must have been to whitewash the third generation. In his eyes, the third generation should be a kinda old grandfather. But if you ask me, the third generation will never be whitewashed. Forget about anything else. Which of the White Fang incident and the Hinata incident can he whitewash? He is such a coward. Don't say that. I don't respect the original author's ideas. He left too many holes. Except for conspiracy theories, there is no way to explain it clearly. So I will always hate this character in the White Fang incident. The third generation couldn't have intervened, right? White Fang gave up the mission and chose to save his teammates. Although this choice was in line with the will of fire, it destroyed the jobs of all the ninjas in Konoha. The mission client came all the way to Konoha to issue the mission, to solve his own problems, not to see you, the Konoha ninja, give up the mission to save your teammates. Who would dare to come to Konoha to issue missions if this reputation spread? How could the third generation intervene in this matter? However, the Hyuga incident is indeed not innocent. No, the Hyuga incident can actually be washed away. But this has to do with the cultural differences between the Flower Clan and the Sakura country. The third Hokage made Hyuga Hisashi commit suicide and sent the body over to show his complete control over Konoha's forces and to intimidate Kumagakure. Although it's hard to understand, this is a very normal thing in the eyes of the Sakura people. You see, after this incident, didn't Kumagakure retreat? Oh. I understand. To put it simply, Kumagakure came to cause trouble, and the third Hokage led his men commit suicide, in order to tell Kumagakure that the ninjas of Konoha are absolutely loyal to me, and that the army is ready, fearless, and not afraid of death or a fight. I know this. Before this, there was a similar incident in Sakura country, but it was a Sakura warrior. In order to show his authority, the monarch made the warrior commit suicide in front of him. The purpose was to intimidate the other party. After seeing these popular sciences, Qiu Li's heart, which had always been calm, was greatly shocked at this moment. He and Dabe looked at each other. Dabe shook his head. I don't understand. Qiu Li twitched his lips. Me too. Chapter 27, An Old Plot. Dabe said with difficulty, if that's the case, Kumagakure can completely come up with a plan to collapse Konoha, go to Konoha every now and then to find trouble, and then bring back a Konoha ninja's body each time. This is a bug. Qiu Li held his forehead in silence. What a crash plan. Dabe smiled evilly. In this case, we just need to hold on until the 8th generation, because the 8th generation will end Konoha. Not sure if Qiu Li understood the pun or not. He stood up and stretched himself. Forget it. Let's not dwell on it. I'll go take a shower first and play games later. He felt that it was difficult to turn back his biological clock. I go to bed at dawn every day and wake up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. This is why Chu Songayan only delivers dinner. As for why Chu Songayan had been delivering dinner for a long time, Qiu Li speculated from a conspiracy theory perspective that this had something to do with Chu Songayan's scumbag nature. If he ate the dinner delivered by Chu Songayan every day, after a long time, when dinner time came, he would think of Chu Songayan in his mind. If dinner hasn't arrived by the appointed time, I can't help but wonder if something has happened to him or if he is too busy. Moreover, one should be grateful for the favors that one has received, and at the critical moment, it might have a miraculous effect. So Chu Songayan was trying to capture his son as if he were his sister. The urban routine is deep. Qiu Li took out a set of pajamas from the closet. Dabe flew over and asked, I remember you seem to have another one, the linen one, which is more comfortable to lean on and is non-slip. Qiu Li was puzzled. What linen? Sakura language, cloth. Linen cloth. Not Sakura. Qiu Li suddenly realized, isn't that one torn? I just threw it downstairs a few days ago. It costs 29.9 yuan, including shipping. It is loose and does not fade. I have worn it for more than 2 years and I feel it is worth it. Dabe slapped his forehead, looking worried. Oh yeah. My brain. My memory has been bad lately. Have I got that alpine dementia? Qiu Li. Qiu Li drooped her eyelids and looked at it expressionlessly. Don't scare me just to make me laugh. If something happens to you, Dabe was startled and apologized 5 times quickly. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. Nothing will happen to me. I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Qiu Li sighed. Alpine dementia? Do you really think I haven't seen this before because I don't surf the internet? This is an old joke. Even fish in the Cambrian period have seen it. Dabe was dejected and waved his hands. Okay, go wash up. You go wash up. I'm going to watch TV series. After that, it flew to the tablet next to the computer desk. Muai Village Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hirozen looked at Itachi, who was kneeling on one knee in front of him, and asked, "Are you here to explain that you will become a traitorous ninja in the future?" "Yes. Hokage-sama." Sarutobi Hirozen walked up to Itachi with his hands behind his back. "Itachi, even though I saw you becoming a traitor in the future during the live broadcast, I still trust you as much as before, because I know that no matter what you do, you will think it through carefully and will not become a traitor for no reason. If you have any ideas now, you can tell me." "Yes." Itachi's face showed no expression. He just responded and then organized his words before speaking. "Third Sama, regarding the Uchiha coup. Many members of the clan were just led by the radicals in the clan. My idea is that I will eliminate all the radicals in the clan, and then become a rebel ninja in Konoha and look for Uchiha Madara for the village." Hearing this, Shikoku looked at Itachi in shock. "Kill those radical members of the tribe yourself? Does Itachi have this kind of strength?" And looking for Madara's trace. "Uchiha Madara has the Rinnegan. Isn't he afraid of falling into the tiger's mouth?" Sarutobi Hirozen asked in a deep voice. "Itachi, are you sure? Whether it's your own strength or the Uchiha radicals being eliminated, there will be no more thoughts of a coup." Before Itachi could answer, Danzo spoke first. "You are thinking too well, aren't you, Uchiha Itachi? Konoha is not a country, but a coup is a coup. Coups have been intolerable since ancient times. The consequence of a failed coup is that the family property is confiscated and the clan is exterminated. Look at the fate of the Karigaki or Kaguya clan. Now your clan wants a coup, and you still want to protect some of your own people." Danzo sneered. "No, you don't just want to save that part of the clan, you also want to save the Uchiha name, right? If you do it yourself, no one in the Uchiha clan will want a coup again, and the fact that the Uchiha clan once wanted a coup will not be spread, and this incident can be treated as if it never happened. Am I right? Uchiha Itachi." Itachi dropped his head. No more words were spoken. Danzo's words could not scare him at all. The famous demon Zabuza was still very famous in the ninja world, and it wasn't because of the Uchiha name. He had a hunch that the Uchiha coup would be exposed through live broadcast sooner or later. He wanted to eliminate the radicals just to protect the villages. For the doves in the tribe, they should be protected if possible. Shisu's last wish was to protect the village in the Uchiha name. He could no longer protect the latter because of the live broadcast. Sarutobi Hirozen's forehead became red with blood when he heard this. "Isn't this pushing Itachi towards the Uchiha side?" Sarutobi Hirozen shouted. "Enough. Danzo. If it was the first generation, no. Even if it was the second generation, he would not kill all the Uchiha. The Uchiha are our former comrades, and we should not use force to solve the problem. Hirozen. I am also considering the village. The Uchiha are a time bomb in the village. Don't forget that the Uchiha who abandoned Uchiha Madara and stayed in Konoha were also a group of people who wanted peace and stability. But what about now?" After hearing Danzo's words, Mito Katoen expressed his support. "Hirozen, you are really old. Being soft-hearted is being soft-hearted. Don't change the concept. We won't kill them all, but it depends on the situation. If it is a coup, it will seriously harm the village. Not to mention the second-generation teacher, even the first generation will not tolerate the Uchiha clan." Sarutobi Hirozen patted Itachi's shoulder and couldn't help but sigh. Then, he said in a firm tone, "The Uchiha clan is one of the 2 major ninja clans that founded Konoha, and they were our former companions. Konoha has experienced 3 ninja world wars, and the Uchiha clan has shed blood and sacrificed for the village. Konoha must not kill all the Uchiha clans. I think this matter should be based on communication." This time Itachi was truly touched. He looked at Sarutobi Hirozen and said apologetically, "I'm sorry to trouble you, Hokage." Kaharu frowned and said, "But Konoha treats them well. Except for the special Nara clan, no other ninja clan in Konoha has as much power as the security forces. This is real power. The main task of the police force is to maintain Konoha's public order. The second generation gave such great power to the Uchiha in order to make the Uchiha feel responsible for the village, and also to prevent similar incidents like Madara's attack on Konoha from happening again. However, when Uchiha was enforcing the law, he offended many villagers because of his attitude. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 Result. In the eyes of Konoha's higher-ranking officials, the Uchiha people became arrogant because they held great power. The villagers hated them, but they could not blame others. It was okay when the second generation was around, but the third and fourth generations that followed were all troubled by the Uchiha's attitude towards the villagers. Public security has indeed improved, but villagers are becoming increasingly dissatisfied with the police force. The Nara clan is indeed very special and has a lot of say, but that is because they have clan members serving as advisors to the daimyo. In the Uchiha clan, a member used the Sharingan to control the Nine Tails, causing heavy losses to the village. In their eyes, the village can no longer be suspicious and monitor them. They destroyed the village and still pretended to be innocent. They took themselves too seriously. Once instigated by radical members of the clan, they were dissatisfied and wanted to stage a coup. Hirozen, do you think this emotionally unstable clan will leave hidden dangers for the village? Konoha cannot tolerate coups. Otherwise, if it's the Uchiha who want a coup today, it could be another ninja clan tomorrow. The village should let all ninja clans know that there are some bottom lines that must not be crossed. Danzo narrowed his eyes, looked at Itachi and said, I think the Uchiha clan should be completely wiped out. This is what they deserve. But if you, Itachi, exterminate the clan yourself, the village can keep Uchiha Sasuke. Similarly, the news of the Uchiha coup will not be spread out, and the Uchiha clan will still be one of the two major ninja clans that founded Konoha. Do you accept this mission? Itachi, I believe you don't want Sasuke to see the ninjas in the village killing all of his own clansmen, right? Otherwise, Sasuke will have the idea of revenge on Konoha, and then we will have to send him to hell as well. Itachi's pupils suddenly contracted. A feeling of hatred suddenly rose in his heart, that is hatred towards all radicals in the clan. If they hadn't insisted on taking the lead in the rebellion, the clan wouldn't have reached this point. Itachi looked up at Danzo's single eye and said coldly, Are you threatening me? Danzo said calmly, No, I just hope you can make a choice. After hearing Danzo's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen finally understood why Itachi in the future would fight with his brother. He figured it out. He figured it all out for Konoha and for peace. How much did the future Uchiha Itachi have to bear? Itachi is the Uchiha who truly transcends the narrow-minded thinking of his clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the two elders and asked, Do you two think so too? Midamanen frowned and thought for a while, then said, I think Danzo's idea is too extreme. The village should send Anbu to help Itachi implement the genocide plan. Yuta Tenkaharu also shook her head and said, Danzo's idea goes against the will of fire. The village must not do this. Upon hearing this, Danzo was so angry that he slammed the cane in his hand heavily to the ground. Shikaku didn't dare to speak, forcing others to exterminate their own clan. Should we say that it is worthy of being the darkness of the ninja world? If Itachi really had the power to wipe out his own clan, then the village would be able to suppress the rebellion of this clan that wanted a coup without any sacrifice. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the three elders in the field, his tone leaving no room for doubt. Since Itachi said he has the power to wipe out the radical Uchiha faction, then so be it. If the Uchiha really staged a coup, without Itachi, how many sacrifices would the village have to make to suppress the rebellion? Itachi did this for the sake of the village. The idea of asking Itachi to wipe out all the Uchiha clan members by himself is a bit too much. To him, this is the best thing to do for the village right now. The Uchiha clan may be a hidden danger to him, but for the next Hokage, it may not be impossible to fully integrate the Uchiha into the village. What he had to do was to believe in the future Hokage. Besides, if Konoha lost the Uchiha, then its strength would undoubtedly be greatly reduced, completely annihilate the Uchiha clan. This is something I don't want to see, but it is definitely what other major countries want to see the most. I can't let the other ninja villages get their wish. Also, don't forget that there are crises waiting for us in the future of the ninja world. Leaving the Uchiha clan behind will give the ninja world an extra force to deal with future crises. The three elders frowned. Sarutobi Hiruzen made the decision directly. That'll be it for now. Itachi, wait for the right moment and then do it. If you have any trouble, speak to the village. The weasel's nose felt a little sour. Maybe this is the surprise of being lost and found again. He had a feeling of unreality at this moment. In fact, if he really had no choice, he would still eliminate everyone in the tribe for the sake of peace. Thank you, third generation master. Shikoku raised an eyebrow. The Sandame's method of winning people's hearts is truly amazing. Itachi confidently said that he could wipe out the radicals all by himself, which undoubtedly meant that he was very powerful, and he may have even awakened those eyes. What the three elders said did make sense, but their words and actions were pushing Itachi to the Uchiha side. If Itachi changed his mind at the last minute, it would definitely be a loss for the village. As a result, the third generation used this godly move to pull Itachi back. Danzo snorted coldly and said disdainfully, "Another damn mercy policy, Hiruzen, you will regret this." Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't bother to pay attention to him and waved his hand, signaling him to get out. "You all may go. Itachi and Shikoku stay for a while." Danzo didn't get a response, and felt like he was punching cotton. His face was terribly gloomy. He snorted heavily, slammed the door and left. A moment later, there were only 3 people left in the huge Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, "Itachi, what do you mean by looking for Uchiha Madara's whereabouts for the village after eliminating the radicals? Did you know any information?" "Yes, Hokage-sama, a masked man who claimed to be Uchiha Madara came to me not long ago and invited me to join an organization." Sarutobi Hiruzen's pupils shrank. "The masked man who calls himself Uchiha Madara? Yes, so, his right eye is the Rinnegan." "No, his right eye is a Mangekyou Sharingan." Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shikoku looked at each other. Shikoku analyzed, if he is really the rumored Shura of the ninja world, he may not hide his head and show his tail, but it is hard to say. From what we saw in the live broadcast, Madara is completely a living person. It is possible that he has a secret technique to prolong his life. It is not certain whether it is Madara. As for having the Sharingan and wearing a mask, I suspect that he should be the mysterious masked man who caused the Nine Tails Rebellion 6 years ago. After hearing this analysis, the pupils of both people in the field suddenly contracted. Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart skipped a beat. "If what you said is true, then doesn't that mean the village has misunderstood the Uchiha clan?" Shikoku was silent. Some villagers knew that the Nine Tails Rebellion was controlled by the Sharingan, but the village did not allow private discussions. However, the hatred for the Uchiha in their hearts would not disappear naturally. The top leaders would also suspect the Uchiha clan, and they moved the Uchiha clan's land to the edge of the village for surveillance. Chapter 29: The Last Request. But now it turns out that the village might have misunderstood the Uchiha. There was nothing that could be done about it. Who could blame the Uchiha for carrying this big black pot? Besides the Uchiha, who else had the Sharingan? How could the Uchiha take this black pot off before the masked man showed up? Itachi was in a trance for a moment, feeling full of self-blame. Yes, the masked man also possesses the Sharingan, so why have I never thought that he is the real culprit behind the Nine Tails Rebellion? He had clearly seen the masked man when he was 8 years old. If he had thought of this earlier and come to explain to the village, how could the Uchiha have come to this point? So, it's all his fault. He was trapped in his own thoughts all day long and couldn't get out. It was him who promised Shisa to stop the family coup, but every day he would just sit on the roof, thinking about what choice the clan and the village should make. He looked down on his people's blind arrogance and narrow-mindedness, but wasn't he the same? Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent for a while, then he said seriously, "Itachi, I want to give you a secret mission." Yoshihisa Itachi walked out of the Hokage building. He felt that he had never been as relaxed as he was today, but when he returned to the Uchiha clan's territory, he saw a familiar figure. Fugaku turned around and saw his eldest son standing there. "Itachi, can we have a good chat?" Just like the host's father said, if father and son have a good chat, many misunderstandings will be resolved. Itachi looked at Fugaku and then glanced at the Uchiha land. "Father, I just happen to have something to ask you." Fugaku turned and walked towards the direction of the security forces. "Then let's go." "And that Mizuki guy, didn't you tell me what to do with him?" "No," Fugaku casually said. "Then just keep it locked up for now." Guard building office. The father and son stared at each other for a long time before Fugaku broke the silence. "Itachi, you are my most precious son. When I saw you and Sasuke in the future on the live broadcast today, I had already guessed the outcome of the Uchiha coup." Itachi said nothing. He had guessed it, so he tried to bargain with the higher-ups to save some of his clansmen instead of waiting until a clan was about to stage a coup before reporting the situation. Fortunately, the result did not disappoint him. Fugaku continued, "I have even guessed that Mikado and I will die in your hands in the end. I think that if you really stand on the side of the village, I will not kill my own son in the end." At this point, He shook his head and sarcastically said to himself, I am not a qualified patriarch, nor a qualified father. Itachi's pupils kept trembling, so I came to you today to tell you about the difficulties of the Uchiha, and I also want to hear your thoughts. As for your final choice, having said that, Fugaku didn't say anything else, but took out a scroll and handed it to Itachi. Seeing Itachi's puzzled expression, Fugaku explained calmly, don't open it yet. This is the suicide note your mother and I prepared today. Wait until the coup fails, then you can open it. Itachi felt his brain explode. Like a bolt from the blue, he could naturally guess the purpose of this suicide note. Fugaku looked at Itachi's expression and continued, this is the last time I will ask my son to help the clan. I think you should know the consequences of a failed coup. So, I hope you can help the clan with a coup. Itachi stared at the scroll blankly, without any reaction. I know you will probably still reject me, but I also hope you can look at some issues from the perspective of the clan. At this point, Fugaku paused for a moment, then spoke in a deep voice, as one of the two major ninja clans that established Konoha, the Uchiha clan did not own the first Hokage, the second, and even the third and fourth generations. Every time the Ninja World Wars, there has never been a lack of bloodshed and sacrifice by our Uchiha clan. As for the police force, don't think that the people of our clan are fools and can't see that it is the second generation that is targeting the Uchiha clan. Despite this, the clan has always been conscientious and has handled its tasks meticulously. Since the Uchiha clan took over, Konoha has never had any chaos, but how did the village treat our clan? Framed. Slanderous. Relocated, 24-hour surveillance by the Anbu. Having said this, Fugaku took a deep breath. You have never had any feelings for the clan. Have you ever thought about the unfair treatment the clan has suffered? Have you ever stood in the perspective of the clan and felt the anger and grievances of the clan? Itachi. Don't forget, your last name is Uchiha. Itachi was scolded like a son. He kept his head down and remained silent. The atmosphere fell into a long silence. After an unknown amount of time, Itachi said in a hoarse voice, Father, you also said that you are not a qualified clan leader. In this case, why don't you let me be the clan leader? After becoming the clan leader, I will communicate with the village leaders and get back everything that the Uchiha once had. Fugaku. This filial son's remarks left Fugaku's mind full of question marks. I was just being modest. Do you take it seriously, you rebellious son? You still want to seize my position as the patriarch? Fugaku felt that Itachi's idea was too naive. You want to be the clan leader? Do you think anyone in the clan will recognize you as the clan leader? I don't deny that you are the only Uchiha who can have a say with the higher-ups in the clan, but how can you be sure that you can get back everything the clan once had by communicating with them? Itachi asked back, Father, do you think that anyone in the village would recognize Uchiha as Hokage? Fugaku was stumped by the question. After a moment, he shook his head in disappointment. Itachi, it seems you have chosen the village after all. Father, have you ever thought that if the bloodless revolution fails, the clan will definitely fight with the ninjas in the village? How many fellow ninjas in the village will die? If you're a high-ranking official in another ninja village, would you miss such a good opportunity? Would the fourth war begin? Would Konoha be destroyed? How many civilians in the village would be implicated? This is based on the premise that the bloodless revolution fails. As long as you join, the success rate of the bloodless revolution will increase. Itachi clenched the scroll in his hand. But I won't choose a clan. Hearing this, Fugaku sighed. So, when there's a coup in your clan, you'll help the village kill your own people, right? Yes. For Konoha, you would rather give up your own people, right? Yes. Itachi replied with a tone that remained firm. Then if one day, the village and the ninja world must choose to be destroyed, will you choose to destroy the village for the peace of the entire ninja world? Itachi was startled. Then kicked the ball back without thinking. What about father? If it were father, what would he choose when faced with this situation? Fugaku. He suddenly realized that no matter which choice he made, it would be wrong. If you choose Konoha, you will be the murderer who destroys the ninja world. If you choose the ninja world, you are disloyal to the force you belong to, and you are also the evil person who destroys the village. Fugaku looked like he was completely disappointed in Itachi and he sighed. Chapter 30 I1 and number 039, T let you down. Itachi didn't know why tears flashed in his eyes. He asked, does the clan have to have a coup? Father, have you ever thought that a coup would set a bad precedent? Who among the ninjas in Konoha would recognize Uchiha as the Hokage? Even if the coup succeeds, what would happen? Father, Have you ever thought that other ninjas would follow the Uchiha because they are dissatisfied with a position of Hokage obtained by the Uchiha? Itachi's soul-searching question stumped Fugaku, not to mention that other ninja clans would not agree with the Uchiha. Even if the Uchiha really succeeded, what would happen? If you rebel, others will also rebel. At that time, will Konoha village still exist? By then, all these tragic consequences were caused by Uchiha's dissatisfaction and desire for a coup. Do you still remember? When I was 4 years old, you took me to a battlefield full of corpses. That was my first time killing someone. I was very scared at the time, but you ordered me to remember the cruel scene in front of me. From the age of 4, I have remembered that scene until now, but why do I still disappoint you with such a choice? Fugaku was stunned, a little dazed when Itachi mentioned the time when he was 4 years old. His tone became noticeably heavier, and only then did he realize that Itachi at that time was only 4 years old. When Itachi was 4 years old, he could, after training, kill the ninja who attacked him out of reflex. When Itachi was 5 years old, he survived the Nine Tails Rebellion, a disaster full of collapsed buildings. He said to Itachi, who was almost killed by a building, "I knew you would be fine." When Itachi was 6 years old, he applied for early graduation from the first grade of ninja school. He proudly said, "He is worthy of being my son." When Itachi was 7 years old, he always liked to talk to Itachi tirelessly about politics, the Uchiha stance, and how the Uchiha would one day take back everything that once belonged to them. When Itachi was 8 years old, he awakened his double Magatama Sharingan because he lost his companions, and he said a lot of words happily. He first praised Itachi's strength, and then said, "You are worthy of being my son." Then he expressed his pride in his son. He then warned Itachi, "Don't be arrogant, you have to keep working hard." Finally, he once again affirmed Itachi's hard work and self-discipline. No matter what kind of achievements Itachi has made, he only means one thing. If you have done it, it is natural and not worth surprising me. If you have not done it, I will feel different, inappropriate and disappointed. Itachi's current personality was created by him. Fugaku slumped in the chair dejectedly. I am indeed not a qualified father. All the choices Itachi made seem to have traces in his growth trajectory. However, my disappointment in you is just pretending. As a father, I can understand your thoughts. My goal is just to win you back as much as possible. Itachi clenched the scroll in his hand and spoke slowly. I understand your love for me, and I understand your expectations of me. What I can do for the clan is to become the clan leader, prevent the coup of the clan members, and take back everything the clan once had from the upper echelons. After doing all this, I will return the position of clan leader to you. Besides this, there is another problem that gives him the most headache, that is, when the live broadcast reveals that a certain clan is planning a coup, the situation of that clan will definitely not be very good. As for whether the tribe members would accept him as the tribe leader, this was not within his consideration. If persuasion fails, then force them to surrender. If force fails to convince them, then those members of the tribe who insist on staging a coup will have no choice but to kill them. After he finishes all this, he will still leave Konoha. The live broadcast might expose what he will do in the future, so leaving Konoha is the best option for him. Itachi, can you really do what you said? Itachi did not answer this question, but 3 Magatama appeared in his eyes and connected into the shape of a kaleidoscope. Fugaku sighed, since you are so confident, I will choose to believe you once. Don't let me down. Itachi, I leave the fate of our clan to you. A look of joy appeared on Itachi's face. Yes, father. I won't let you down in stopping the coup of the clan. Fugaku thought about it and held out his hand to Itachi. In that case, just return the scroll to me. I don't think it will be of any use to me, next time, Dad. After saying that, Itachi turned into a group of crows and flew away. To be honest, he was quite curious about what a serious father would write in his suicide note. Could it be some corny words? Fugaku was stunned when he heard this intimate name from Itachi again. Then he gritted his teeth. This rebellious son. This rebellious son. Fugaku thought about the contents of the suicide note and couldn't help but scratch his ninja shoes with his toes. Although he is not a good father, his love for his son is absolutely sincere. Blue Star Dabe held the tablet close to Qiu Li and said, look at this. Is it good looking? Qiu Li, who was playing games, took a moment to glance over and found that it was a beautiful supporting actress wearing a purple cheongsam. Boring. Dabe curled his lips. How beautiful is this? That tiger killing Su song really didn't lie to me. Purple is indeed very charming. Qiu Li has always liked only black and white, but Dabe is different. It likes many colors. The day before yesterday, it touched the tuft of hair on its head and said it wanted to dye it green, and yesterday it wanted to dye it blue. If I can deal with it today, or it's okay. Then it might want to dye it purple again. Dabe quickly searched for the picture he had saved last time. Hey, host, what do you think of this? As it said that, it handed the tablet to Qiu Li. Qiu Li glanced at it perfunctorily. After a moment, he looked again. He said stubbornly, it's just so. A beggar version of a little Lolita who is in the second dimension, plus gray coarse linen clothes, plus dirty, plus cold temperament, plus delicate facial features. Not that Qiu Li really likes this, can only say, this is his pleasure whether it is a novel or a comic. Qiu Li's favorite plot is that the protagonist picks up a dirty, cold-tempered beggar lolly, and then as the plot develops, the protagonist slowly influences her, making her less cold and making her care more and more about the protagonist. Dabe naturally knew Qiu Li very well. Otherwise he would not have specially saved this picture. It once secretly swore that one day it would make its host a god who is above men and below 10,000 men, although it is the weakest type of god, allowing its host to do whatever it wants. In the low-level martial arts world of the feudal dynasty, it allows its host to go to another world and pick up dirty little beggar girls. Thinking of this, it curiously asked Qiu Li, host, if one day you also meet a beggar like this little Lolita, will you be like the protagonist of the novel? For example, cultivate. Qiu Li is thin-skinned and he would never admit such a thing. I won't be like the protagonist. But I will still take good care of her, influence her with love, give her warmth, and let her be full of love for the world and life. Dabe couldn't help but complain, host, if you are any more greasy, the Americans will attack you. Qiu Li didn't respond and continued, then find someone to take off my head and throw it in front of her. Dabe looked at him in astonishment. I've seen many people supporting their wives, but what are you supporting? Chapter 31 Ninja Game. The next day morning, Muai Village, Naruto's house. Sarutobi Hirozen placed an envelope on the table. This is this month's living expenses, don't spend it recklessly. After saying that, he was ready to leave. Naruto quickly stepped forward and grabbed his sleeve. Hey, third generation grandpa, do you know who my mother is? Sarutobi Hirozen was stunned for a moment and remained silent for a moment. He still didn't intend to tell Naruto. When you are supposed to know, you will know. I believe it will be soon, maybe next month, maybe several months. Naruto will know. Naruto grasped the hem of the divine robe with both hands to prevent the old man from the third Hokage from escaping. But I want to know now. Third generation grandfather, please, just tell me. Sarutobi Hirozen's expression suddenly changed. Oh no. Damn. Old man, I'm still boiling water at home. I have to go back quickly. After saying that, his body exploded with a bang and turned into a cloud of smoke. Naruto felt his hands empty and pouted in dissatisfaction. He lowered his head and touched his stomach. Big Fox, do you know who my mother is? As soon as he finished speaking, Kyuubi's sneer came to his ears. You were picked up from the trash can by your father. You don't have a mother. Naruto didn't believe it at all. Tisk. You are lying to a 3-year-old child. I am 6 years old this year. You can't fool me with such words. Well, you were actually born by your father after he carried you for 10 months alone. It was really hard for him back then. As he said this, Kyuubi sighed in a pretentious manner. Little Naruto felt sincerity in the Big Fox's tone, and heard both regret and grief. He couldn't help but be infected by the Big Fox's emotions. Naruto's mood gradually became depressed. It turns out I really don't have a mother. In the forbidden space at this moment, the corners of Kyuubi's mouth were raised so high that even AK-47 couldn't suppress it. What about my father? Who is he? Why have I never seen him? Kyuubi said with great nostalgia. He is just an ordinary human being. As for why you have never seen him, then, it pretended to be sad. Nanludo, have you ever heard of a difficult birth? Little Naruto's body seemed to be struck by a bolt of lightning. He staggered back to his bed and sat down, starting to sob. I do not know how long it has been. Naruto's stomach began to growl. I'm so hungry, I want to go eat a Ichiraku ramen. After all, they are children and their attention is diverted very quickly. Thinking of Ichiraku ramen, Naruto suddenly became much more energetic, and even temporarily forgot about his father who died during childbirth. Naruto wiped his tears, quickly put on his clothes, and rushed out of the house. Walking on the streets of Konoha village, Naruto looked around and felt like something was different. The people around him no longer seemed to look at him with hatred. It seemed that when they saw Naruto, they still thought of their family members who died at the hands of the demon fox. So when they looked at Naruto again, their eyes could not be described as kind, let alone guilt. This is how the Jinchuriki is treated before he is recognized by the people. Naruto's ears twitched as he passed a small park. He walked over quietly and parted the grass. There were a few kids about his age there, about to play a ninja game, but they hadn't started yet. One of the children said loudly with a righteous look on his face, "This time I will be the savior of the ninja world." Uzumaki Naruto. The ninja world. It should be protected by me. Little Naruto was stunned for a moment. Play yourself, another child in the park yelled. No. I want to be Uzumaki Naruto. Let me be the boss. Let me be the boss. I don't care. I'm going to be Uzumaki Naruto. You guys get to be the bad guys. A certain naughty kid realized that his voice was not as loud as the other person's and he couldn't win the argument, so he showed a sarcastic look and snorted, "You annoying little fox demon." The child who was going to play Naruto was confused. Huh? Why did it start from here? One of the children pointed at the naughty kid and couldn't help laughing. You look like my mother. Naruto had a huge grin on his face and was about to walk over to play with them when he was spotted by one of the kids. Wah! No. Uzumaki Naruto is coming. Everyone run. The group of naughty kids immediately scattered like birds and beasts. As for why you want to run, maybe it was the advice from the adults at home. The smile on Naruto's face froze. Oh, forget it. I'd better go eat Ichiraku ramen. Naruto turned around dejectedly and walked towards the Ichiraku ramen shop. On the way, Naruto found that there seemed to be more and more people on the road, and dozens of Konoha ninjas wearing ninja vests were standing on the roadside to maintain order. The further you go in, the louder the noise becomes, until Naruto saw that there were a lot of people in front of him. At a glance, there were nearly 100 people crowded in the small street. Among them, some people started fighting for some unknown reason. Several ninjas hurried over to separate them. Don't push. You damned outsiders, just squeeze in. So what if I squeeze you? Are the natives of Konoha so great? What's so great about that? You bastards. This is my home. You're all blocking the way here, not queuing up. How am I going to get through? How am I going to get home? You're scolding me, right? I asked you to scold me. I've long been annoyed by the way you Konoha villagers treat Naruto. I'm going to beat you to death, damn it. Don't you ninjas care about anything? The third Hokage asked you to come here to maintain law and order, not to just stand there and watch. Where are the Uchiha guards? Where did those guys go? Yet, where is the police force? I'm going to complain to the Sandai about their dereliction of duty. Such a big thing happened in the village, and they didn't come out to take care of it. If the guys from the police force were here, would these outsiders dare to be so arrogant? Damn it, the Konoha ninjas were trying to stop the fights or maintain law and order, and they were all suffering. These outsiders are all potential clients of the village. For the sake of Konoha's image, they dare not behave too badly among these people. There are people of all kinds of identities. The majority are civilians and wealthy businessmen from the Fire Country, and there are also some ninjas from small villages who passed through the Fire Country while on missions. They all came to Ichiraku Ramen and happened to meet Naruto, the savior. This is only the first day. I believe that in the days to come, the flow of people in Konoha village will only increase. People with business acumen have already built in an outside Konoha village. This is the impact brought by the savior of the ninja world. Although no one knows yet how Naruto saved the world, someone in the crowd shouted, "Naruto is here. Everyone line up. Let Naruto eat ramen first." Naruto? Where? Don't go over there. Don't scare him. Naruto-chan is just a child, that's right. Don't go over there. Everyone, line up. Don't scare him. Those who can come to Konoha village specifically for Naruto are naturally people who like him very much and feel very sorry for what happened to little Naruto. Naruto stared blankly at the group of people who were originally noisy, scrambling to line up in front of Ichiraku Ramen. It was a long procession, quite spectacular. Chapter 32 Recognized. At the front of the line is a beautiful lady in a purple dress. Naruto looked at the beautiful sister not far away who was looking excited and waving at him, calling him to cut in line, and suddenly felt a little at a loss. It seems that she wants to get close to her little idol. The people standing behind her looked at her from behind with obvious envy. Huh? Naruto felt that he didn't look as excited as she was, although this was the first time he experienced the feeling of being recognized, and like only then did he realize that there were so many people outside the village who recognized him. Inside Ichiraku Ramen, he rubbed his sore wrist with a wry smile. "Miss, a customer had already paid Naruto's bill when he found him. And there was even a few thousand taels left over that someone left behind. You really don't have to pay for him anymore, hand boss, just take the money. Remember to give Naruto a large portion, the most luxurious one." Yes, boss. I'll pay for Naruto's next serving of ramen. I'll keep the money with you first. I finally understand what it means to have pain and happiness coexist. Then please inform the customers behind us. We didn't know there would be so many customers today, so we didn't prepare so many noodles. Don't worry, boss. I won't complain even if I have to sit outside and wait for the whole day. Hands were stunned. Aren't these people a little too enthusiastic? Is this the power of the savior? Of course, he could barely understand these. If the future savior of the ninja world appears in another ninja village, even he will suspend business for a few days and go to that ninja village to take a look. This is the person who will save them and the entire ninja world in the future. If the savior is having a hard time or is in a bad situation, then as a member of the ninja world who needs to be saved, it is only right to give him some help. The other side, Kakashi was on his way to the Hokage building. There seemed to be an air wall around him that isolated everyone. Both the ninjas and the villagers were deliberately keeping a certain distance from him. With his excellent hearing, no matter how quiet the discussions of the villagers around him were, they could be clearly heard by him. Hey, that's the guy, right? The white-haired pervert. He actually did that to the demon fox. Yeah, that white-haired ninja from that village. Stay away from him. Who knows what he will do to you? This scene seems a bit familiar. The sadness in Kakashi's heart was like a river flowing backwards. It's really impossible to live like this. As for Iruka, everyone knows he's a pervert, but no matter what, Iruka still has the label of a good teacher, and he, the Anbu of Konoha, the famous Kakashi of the Sharingan in the ninja world, and the future leader of Naruto, has no good labels at all. He's just a white-haired ninja with a very perverted secret skill. Fire Nation and a casino on a certain street. Big. Zio. Yes, Zio. I'm rich. Haha. Hey, isn't this a big fat sheep? Why did you come here? A gambler approached Tsunade, hesitated for a moment, gritted his teeth, and his courage gradually gained the upper hand. He turned his head and smiled ingratiatingly at Tsunade. Sister Tsunade. Shizu mourned for him for 2 seconds in her heart. This is the 5th one already. Tsunade clenched her fists, veins popping out on her forehead with a loud bang. A figure smashed a human-shaped hole in the wall of the casino. This terrible live broadcast. No. That's not right. Only the spin-off story is terrible. After the live broadcast ended, Tsunade was harassed at night. She was really fed up with that spin-off story now. All the gamblers in the casino who were eager to try were suddenly silenced. I didn't dare go forward anymore. They all thanked the warrior who was knocked away in their hearts. It was that stubborn warrior who made them realize that Tsunade in real life was not such an easy woman to win over. Kingdom of Windsand Hidden Village. Stop it. Gaara. Stop it now. Crack. The sound of bones breaking was heard. I saw a man dressed as a Sand Village villager, his body crushed by a ball of sand, and blood splattered on the surrounding stone walls. Kankuro looked at the villagers who died tragically in front of him with a dull look in his eyes. Is this his younger brother? No. This is clearly a demon who kills without blinking an eye. Temri angrily asked Gaara, didn't I tell you to stop? Gaara's eyes revealed a coldness. He wanted to assassinate me, but he just threw a rock at you. I told you. He wanted to assassinate me, but, Gaara interrupted impatiently, shut up. Or I'll kill you. Temri shuddered at his words. Kankuro quickly pulled Temri behind him and said, Gaara, what are you doing? My sister and I came to find you secretly without telling our father. We just wanted to protect you. We didn't want you to be bullied like Uzumaki Naruto, but you said you wanted to kill your sister. You bastard, forget it. Kankuro, let's go. Temri looked sad and blinked quickly to wipe away the tears in her eyes. After hearing what Kankuro said, Gaara froze in place. His pupils kept trembling and his heart was filled with waves. When Temri and Kankuro walked away, Gaara suddenly covered his heart. He squatted on the ground and hugged himself. The little figure carrying a gourd looked extremely lonely. I am supposed to be alone. I am the weapon of the village, a lonely weapon. I don't need a heart, but I am Gaara, a Shura who only loves myself. I only fight for myself, is that so? Yoshamaru? Gaara's eyes returned to indifference, but that anxious heart couldn't calm down for a long time. He stood up, a ball of fine sand wrapped around him, and then with a swish, his figure disappeared. In the afternoon, Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto covered his round belly and waved to everyone with a silly smile on his face. Today's experience was even more dreamy for him than the day of the live broadcast. Today he finally understood what favor meant. He had clearly said that he didn't blame the villagers. Those villagers didn't know that he was not a fox demon, and they were all victims, but Naruto's fans outside the village didn't care about that. They all defended Naruto, spoke for him, and criticized the villagers of Konoha. The villagers said they didn't know Naruto was not a demon fox. They can only blame themselves for being too stupid. They are stupid themselves, and they take their anger out on a child. How stupid and unreasonable. After Naruto returned home, he sat on the bed and grinned foolishly for a long time. After a moment, Naruto stood up. Kyuubi thought Naruto had finally recovered, but I didn't expect. Naruto leapt straight onto the bed, lying on top of it, and rolled around on it excitedly. Ha 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 ha, finally someone recognizes me. So many people like me, Naruto. seemed to have just regained his strength, and the grievances in his heart were completely released. He jumped up and down on the bed excitedly, and pounded the quilt and pillow hard a few times. It seemed as if a crow flew over Kyuubi's head. It looked at Naruto, who was smiling and crying, and was speechless. Chapter 33 Extraordinary Volume. Blue Star Qiu Li listened to the novel and took a bite of the pizza in her hand. The book he was listening to today was about a Naruto dad. The introduction is that the protagonist became Konan's father, and later adopted the three little creatures from the Rain Country. In the end, he defeated Hanzo of the Salamander and became the leader of the Rain Country. He eventually unified the entire ninja world and brought peace to it. This is a warm, everyday, and somewhat refreshing Naruto fanfiction, especially the beginning. This author named Zhao Xiao seems to be very bold, and he starts with, "Dad, look," segment rating 99+. All the screens are filled with a 3-year-old Xianin, holding a flower made of paper in his hand, ran towards the protagonist with his short legs. Among the comments, the one with the highest number of likes is, "Stop it, my sister has a Gatling gun that emits blue fire." When Qiu Li finished eating, the protagonist has established the Akatsuki organization with the 3 grown-up children as the leader of Akatsuki. He established a set of rules that members must follow. Members of the Akatsuki organization, no matter what time, you can't take off this black-bottomed red cloud robe. It can be seen that he really cares about the Akatsuki organization. It is better to believe in the Akatsuki organization's law that anyone who takes off their clothes will die than to believe it not. Because of this novel, Qiu Li didn't play games or watch short videos tonight. He read this novel until dawn. It is worth mentioning that the protagonist's methods are extremely cruel. Many of the negative reviews in the book were due to this action of his. It's nice to show off, but it's too inhumane and its actions are quite extreme in many people's minds. This is definitely a poisonous point. The protagonist asked Baizetsu to steal blood bags from hospitals in various villages, asked Fiden to lick the blood, and then repeatedly used death by blood to commit suicide. After successfully weakening the 5 major countries, the protagonist is still a steady group. He feels that even so, the Rain Country is no match for the entire ninja world. Then he asked Baizetsu to search the trash cans of the 5 major ninja villages for sanitary napkins. Many popular characters died because of this. This plot has deviated from the theme of warmth and daily life. After the protagonist did all this, the Rain Country declared war on the entire ninja world. In the end, the protagonist naturally won. At this point, the ninja world was completely peaceful, the ninja kingdom was established, and the protagonist became the first emperor of the ninja kingdom. Later, the protagonist used the reincarnation technique to resurrect all those who died because of him, and used his energy to restore himself to the state. Before using the reincarnation technique, the whole world is united. It is worth mentioning that the emperor is not hereditary. Although the protagonist is very powerful, he has not yet reached the life level of the 6 paths. Considering that he is getting older and older and his strength is not as good as before, he directly appointed Uchiha Madara as the candidate for the emperor. This ninja world needs a powerful person to take charge no matter what bad things Madara has done. His starting point is to maintain peace in the ninja world. Now that the ninja world is at peace, Madara can be dealt with. Madara's desire to protect this peaceful ninja world is definitely stronger than anyone else's. The position of emperor is not a symbol of power, but responsibility. After Izuna and Tobirama were resurrected, they often quarreled, but their bond became deeper day by day. Because of this, Madara gradually let go of his prejudice against Tobirama. 5 years later, Madara realized that he might be a little too old and his brain was not very useful, so he made Tobirama the emperor of Ninja Country, and Tobirama named Uchiha Kagami as the candidate for emperor. At the end of the story, Madara, who has retired, occasionally plays chess, drinks tea, and goes fishing with the old protagonist and Hashirama, and seems to be quite leisurely. Finally finished watching it. It's so short. Qiu Li yawned, looked at the time, and couldn't help but be stunned. It's already past 9 o'clock. Sleep. Muai Village Uchiha clan land elder Uchiha shouted angrily, "That traitor! He still has the nerve to say that he wants to be the head of the Uchiha clan? What does he mean? Does he want to surrender Konoha with his entire clan? Is this how you educate your son, Fugaku?" Fugaku smiled bitterly. Now that Itachi has awakened those eyes, coupled with the ninja talent he has shown since he was a child, it is not an exaggeration to say that he is currently the strongest among the Uchiha. He is devoted to the village. He wants to become the clan leader and take back everything that belongs to the Uchiha clan through peaceful negotiations. We can't really push him to the village, otherwise we will be asking for trouble. If the clan really wants a coup, then the truth is to persuade Itachi to help the clan. The elder was silent after a moment. He asked, "What's going on outside?" Did the traitor kill anyone in the clan? Fugaku shook his head and said, no, he only defeated those challengers who refused to submit to him. There are few people in the clan who can match Itachi, including me, the elder sighed and said earnestly, Fugaku, I really don't know how you educated Uchiha Itachi. You should teach him well when you go back, so that he can be like the young people in the clan and be a little more normal. Fugaku's mouth twitched. I see, among the Uchiha clan, most of the masters, young or older, were beaten up by Itachi. The tribesmen were talking about it. This Uchiha Itachi is too unfathomable. No one in the clan has yet tested his true strength. If he helps the village, will the Uchiha who staged the coup still have the chance to survive? A member of the tribe who had already given up said in a very nonchalant manner, since you can't beat him, then just let him be the tribe leader. Is there anyone in the tribe who can really beat this guy? Anyway, I haven't seen anyone. I'm convinced. I really am. I finally managed to hide him, but he turned into a group of crows. Me too. I thought I had the upper hands in the fight with him, but later I realized that I was just under his illusion. On this day, all the Uchiha clan members knew about Itachi's two passive skills. Passive 1, being hit triggers the crow clone. Passive 2, when fighting with him, if you find that you have the upper hand, don't doubt it, you are under an illusion. They had been fighting for a whole morning, and although Itachi had no injuries, he was showing signs of fatigue. The elite ninjas in the Uchiha clan are all very powerful. He still has some advantages in ninjutsu and jinjutsu, but in terms of physical skills, this is also the strong point of the Uchiha clan. Itachi glanced at the remaining 7 challengers and said, to save time, all 7 of you should attack together. If you lose, I hope you can keep your promise and stop preventing me from becoming the clan leader. One of the challengers said dissatisfiedly, hey, Uchiha Itachi, you traitor are too confident, aren't you? We can't beat you one-on-one, but there are 7 of us, asshole. Are you looking down on us? This is your own choice, so don't blame us for not showing mercy. A huge red skeleton appeared around Itachi's body. He looked at the 7 people off the field calmly. Stop talking nonsense, come on together, my time is precious. Not only is his time valuable, but the time of 3 generations is also valuable. The 3rd generation has to hunt down Orochimaru and also discuss matters concerning the Rain Country and the Akatsuki organization. He was going to find the masked man Uchiha Madara. Chapter 34. Not interested. Their time is precious, and they can't waste too much time on the Uchiha coup. Although, it was still nearly 10 years before Sasuke was killed by Madara, and at this time in Konoha village several villagers were whispering to each other. Did you hear that? There's noise coming from the Uchiha clan. I heard it. It seems like someone is fighting over there. Humph, this is really a family that makes people worry. Is something wrong with the Uchiha? No wonder we haven't seen them out to maintain law and order in the past 2 days. Kingdom of Windsand Hidden Village. Stop it. Stop it, Gaara. Gaara frowned, looked at Temari and Kankuro, and stopped what he was doing. What are you doing here again? We would like to ask you if you would like to. Before Temari could finish her words, she heard a few crackling sounds, and several bones in the body of the ninja wrapped in the sand were broken. Cough. The sand ninja's eyes gradually became unfocused after coughing up a mouthful of blood. Temari swallowed back the words. Play with us. Temari's eyes welled up with tears. She closed her eyes and yelled at Gaara. Gaara. You are truly hopeless. Gaara just said indifferently. What are you looking for me for? I'm not interested in knowing. After that, he glanced at the 2 of them, and his figure disappeared with a swoosh. Kankuro clenched his fists. This guy has killed his fellow villagers again. Temari lowered her head, and just as she was about to turn around and leave, she heard Kankuro's exclamation. What is this? Look quickly, sister. Temari looked in the direction of Kankuro's finger. I saw that the sand villager was holding a kunai in his hand. Temari's mind buzzed and her body swayed, almost losing her balance. Kankuro covered his head with a look of pain on his face. No way? Is what Gaara said true? Did the ninjas from the village really come to assassinate Gaara? Temari's face turned pale. Why? Why did the village's ninja want to assassinate Gaara? Kankuro seemed to recall something that was when he was very young and saw Gaara going berserk on that day. There were a large number of casualties among the village's ninjas, and many of the village's buildings were destroyed. Are you coming here to seek revenge on Gaara? Muai village. Iruka walked quickly towards home. The discussions of the onlookers gradually reached his ears. This guy is indeed a good teacher. But unfortunately, he is a pervert. My daughter is going to the ninja school next year. If Iruka is her homeroom teacher, I don't know whether I should feel relieved or not. Although Iruka is a bit lascivious, he is at least a good teacher with a kind heart, right? I believe he still has this bottom line, so you can relax. Now that you say that, I'm even more worried. Iruka covered his face and ran away when he thought of the label of pervert. He thought of Naruto similarly. When he thought of Naruto, he would definitely think of the label that was attached to him. He is going to resign from the third generation. He doesn't want to be a teacher anymore. Hokage building dong dong. There was a knock on the Hokage's office door. Enter, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was processing documents, saw that it was Itachi, and a gentle smile appeared on his face, and he put down the documents in his hand. Itachi, is the plan going well? It went very smoothly. Hokage-sama, I am now the head of the Uchiha clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen breathed a sigh of relief in this case. The task of stopping the Uchiha coup is halfway accomplished. Then, what we have to do next is to find a random reason to move the Uchiha clan's land back to its original location and appease the dissatisfaction of those radical factions in the Uchiha clan. Itachi couldn't help but sigh seeing this. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked hurriedly, what's wrong? Do you have any other concerns? Itachi nodded with a tired look on his face and said truthfully, Hokage-sama, there are three main reasons why the Uchiha clan wants a coup: moving the clan's land, being under surveillance, and the villagers' attitude towards the clan. I have a feeling that sooner or later the live broadcast will expose the Uchiha's intention to stage a coup. By then, the villagers' disgust towards the Uchiha may be even greater than before. Last night, he thought about it for half the night but couldn't come up with a good solution. Sarutobi Hiruzen's hands shook and his pipe almost fell to the ground. He really hadn't thought of that. If the live broadcast revealed that the Uchiha once wanted to stage a coup, how would the villagers view the Uchiha? Will the Uchiha try to stage a coup again because of the villagers' treatment of them? Sarutobi Hiruzen rubbed his brows. What should I do? It is true that the village misunderstood Uchiha, but the culprit of the Nine Tails Rebellion did possess the Sharingan. There was no suitable candidate for Hokage yet. And he couldn't take all the responsibility on himself right now. Itachi, please help me buy some time. After the candidate for Hokage is confirmed, I will take all the blame on myself. Then I will tell all the villagers that it was my negligence that caused the village to misunderstand the Uchiha. I also formulated various policies against the Uchiha, which made the wronged Uchiha have the idea of rebellion. Itachi's pupils trembled violently. No. This is not your fault. After the Nine Tails Rebellion, everyone will suspect the Uchiha. Unless the mysterious masked man Uchiha Madara shows up again, the Uchiha will not be able to explain why the Nine Tails was controlled by the Sharingan. You, Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand, interrupting Itachi's speech. Don't say any more, Itachi. I'm doing this for the stability of the village. As long as the villagers know that the Uchiha wanted to rebel because they suffered a great injustice, then when the live broadcast exposes the Uchiha coup, the villagers will not hate the Uchiha so much in their hearts. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Itachi, who was standing there in a daze, and said with a smile, just like what I said to Iruka on the live screen. The ninjas of Konoha all possess the will of fire. Then as the Hokage, I have naturally been ready to sacrifice myself for the village. Besides, this happened during my tenure as Hokage, and I am also responsible. Kingdom of Windsand Hidden Village. A flash of anger flashed across Gaara's eyes. He asked impatiently, what are you doing here again? Kankuro stepped forward and said, I'm sorry, Gaara, we misunderstood you earlier. The ninjas from the village are indeed here to assassinate you, and then, we want to ask you, do you want to play with us? If we are here, the ninjas in the village will not come to assassinate you so blatantly. Not interested in. After saying this, Gaara used the sand flash to leave. Temari looked around and said, huh? Where is Gaara? Kankuro hesitated for a moment. Then gritted his teeth and pointed in a random direction. Take a gamble and look in this direction. It is good. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35. Respected Chief Xiaonan. After a gust of light sand, Gaara's figure appeared in the original position. He quietly watched the two running figures, memories flashing through his mind. Your name was given by my sister. This child is called Gaara, a Shura who only loves himself. I hope you only love yourself and fight only for yourself. Only in this way can you survive. This is my sister's wish, but my sister gave you this name not because she cares about you or loves you. The reason why she gave you this name and hoped that you would live is because my sister, who died with resentment, hopes that her resentment can remain in the world and be known to the world. She has no love for you. Algara stood there for a long time. After he came to his senses, he turned around expressionlessly and left in the opposite direction of the two people. Konoha Uchiha clan land in a meeting room. Uchiha Inahiro saw Itachi walk in and sneered. "Why, clan leader, aren't you going to take back the things that belong to the clan?" Itachi took a deep breath, calmed himself down, and then said, "No, the third generation said we have to wait for a few days." Hearing this, another radical Uchiha Takuma narrowed his eyes. It's just an excuse to delay time. Maybe the village leaders want to take advantage of this time to launch a surprise attack on the Uchiha? The elder of the clan slowly spoke. Takuma is right. I also suspect that the village wants us to let down our guard and take us down completely in one fell swoop. The clan must be on guard. Uchiha Chihiro curled his lips and said, "Everyone in the village knows that the clan is going to stage a coup. How could they still show mercy to us?" Fugaku sat there quietly listening without saying a word. "Itachi, you grew up eating the rice of the clan, so there is no reason for you to help Konoha to ruin the clan. Now that you have those eyes, why not lead us to rebel against Konoha? We will start tonight, and tomorrow morning, you will become the fifth generation of Konoha village, and you can help the clan take back everything they have lost. Yes, Itachi. If you can lead the clan to a successful coup, you will always be our most respected clan leader." Itachi frowned and said in a cold voice, "Have you ever thought about the consequences of a failed coup in the clan? Not everyone in the clan wants a coup. Just because you want to vent your dissatisfaction, you have to gamble the lives of everyone in the clan on whether the coup will succeed." Uchiha Takuma sneered. Then, "Master, have you ever thought that it was Konoha that targeted Uchiha first? Uchiha is the strongest family in the entire ninja world. As one of the two major ninja clans that established Konoha, why should we endure the village's false accusations?" Itachi asked. "How do you know it was a false accusation? And not someone in the clan really used the Sharingan to control the Nine Tails back then? Then how can you be sure that the Sharingan wasn't dug out by someone else after a clan member sacrificed himself to protect Konoha during the war?" What Brother Yoshiro said is right. And it's not just that. Although the price of Sharingan in the black market is not cheap, there are many people who can afford it. Who knows if the Sharingan that controls the Nine Tails was bought on the black market? Just because of suspicion, the clan's land was moved to the edge of the village. The village treats Uchiha like this, then why can't the Uchiha stage a coup? The Uchiha clan is one of the two major ninja clans that founded Konoha. Konoha owes us a Hokage. Since they won't give it to us, then we will take back what belongs to us. Listening to everyone arguing, Itachi couldn't help but rub his brows at this moment. The village owes Uchiha another Hokage. I feel it would be better to just get rid of these hawks. Compared to hawks, doves are obviously much easier to talk to. Chief Itachi, have you made up your mind? Will you lead us in a coup, or will you stand against the clan, help the village, and eliminate those of us who are of the same clan who want a coup? Itachi sighed. We will discuss this matter later, while we wait for the Sandame's reply. You can rest assured that if the village launches a surprise attack, I will stand in front of the Uchiha and stop the village. On the other hand, if you launch a coup, then I will help the village put down the rebellion. When he said the latter, a kaleidoscope shape appeared in Itachi's eyes. Damn it. I knew you were still on Konoha's side. Just wait, sooner or later, I will also awaken those eyes. Itachi ignored them, glanced at Fugaku who was resting with his eyes closed, and walked towards home. If he only used his mouth, he would be able to defeat these radicals. My family knows their own affairs. During the Warring States period, the Uchiha clan was defeated by the Senju clan, and many members surrendered to the Senju clan. If the first Hokage had not been so easy to talk to, the Uchiha clan would have been exterminated at that time. How can a ninja clan that was defeated and surrendered and then followed the Senju to establish Konoha have the nerve to say that they are one of the two major ninja clans that established Konoha? It's just that Uchiha Itachi also has the surname Uchiha, and he still has to save some face, so in this matter, he can only play dumb. As for what the clan members emphasized, when they went to the battlefield for Konoha, the clan made great sacrifices. Konoha is protected by all the ninja clans and ninjas together. Every ninja clan has made great sacrifices, not just the Uchiha. Moreover, the Uchiha protected the village, and the village also protected the Uchiha. In the ninja world, there were many ninja villages and rebellious ninjas who coveted the Sharingan. Evening. Just as Itachi was about to go to sleep, there was a knock on the door. He stood up and opened the door. Father, Fugaku asked straight to the point. Today you only said that you were waiting for the response from the third generation. This made the tribesmen very unhappy. Can you tell me the reason? I can also appease them. Itachi was silent for a moment, then said, "Let's talk outside." After that, he walked out of the house first. After walking a few steps, Itachi said without turning his head, "Father, there is no need to look into my room. I destroyed the suicide note in the scroll after reading it, Fugaku. Now I understand my father and mother's love for me even more. Don't worry, I won't let you down with the outcome of this matter. He will try his best to keep his hands free from the blood of his people." Fugaku. Time flies, and a week has passed in the blink of an eye. Rain Country. Only then did Conan realize that her bloodline limit could actually be used to make money. Looking at the boxes of banknotes within the organization, Conan and Nagato still have a feeling of unreality. Just this morning, each ninja village sent representatives to the Rain Country. The Land of Earth and the Land of Wind want to collect all the detonating talismans at the price of 500 taels per piece. The Fire Nation offered 600 taels. The Thunder Country offered 800 taels. After a lot of internal arguing, the price was finally set at 1,002 taels. It was up to you to buy it or not. The thoughts of each major ninja village are very complicated. You may be wary, but if you don't take advantage of an opportunity, you'd be a bastard. This price is much lower than purchasing from ninja tool suppliers. Conan couldn't help but hold his forehead when he saw Kokuzu counting money with his head down. Do you really need to do that? You're still counting them one by one. There are more than 6 billion taels. How long will it take you to finish counting them? Old Kokuzu took off his mask, took a sip of water, and tapped his fingers twice, counting as he said, "As for, of course I shouldn't. Dear Chief Conan, to be honest, this is my greatest hobby." Nagato. Chapter 36. The meaning is self-evident. Xiaonan said speechlessly, "Forget it, I don't care about you. If you have a mission, just don't delay the important things." "Yes, sir. My respected Chief Xiaonan." Xiaonan. She has now become the respected Xiaonan leader. 7 million detonating talismans could have been sold before, but this was because a representative from a small country said something suicidal. Sister Xiaonan. Seeing Xiaonan getting angry, the envoy from the small country was kicked out of the Rain Country by everyone. Hokage building. A voice came from the Hokage's office. "Jiraiya, now that you are back, don't leave. Stay and become the 5th generation of the village. Teacher, please find someone else to be the Hokage. I have my own things to do and I won't stay in Konoha forever." Sarutobi Hirozen looked at Jiraiya with a headache. "What else do you want to say? Isn't the child of prophecy you've been looking for Naruto? Now that you've found him, what other reason do you have to leave the village? Haven't you always wanted to become Hokage since you were a child? I'm old and my energy isn't as good as it used to be. Do you want me, the traitor, to die of exhaustion in this position of Hokage? Aren't there enough talented people in the village who can succeed a 5th generation? Just let them do it." Seeing Jiraiya taking it for granted, Sarutobi Hirozen asked, "Besides you, who else do you think is suitable?" Jiraiya was stunned. He thought about it over and over again. "I found out, there don't seem to be many suitable candidates." "What about Kakashi? How about him being the god aim?" Sarutobi Hirozen stretched out his hand, formed a tiger seal in front of him, and shook it up and down. The meaning is self-evident. Kakashi has a bad reputation nowadays. Jiraiya suddenly realized. The corner of his mouth twitched. "Old man, you are really humorous." Seeing that his teacher didn't say anything, Jiraiya thought for a moment and suggested, "If it really doesn't work, we can find someone from the Uchiha clan, so that they don't have to stage a coup. If the Uchiha clan is exterminated, the village's strength will undoubtedly shrink a lot, and then the ninja world will be in turmoil again. Anyway, the Uchiha clan is one of the 2 major ninja clans that established Konoha, so choosing someone with the will of fire as the 5th generation is also a very good choice." At this moment, the door was suddenly pushed open. Midman walked in. "No. I absolutely disagree with Uchiha becoming Hokage." Utane Kaharu followed closely behind, scolding, "Jiraiya, do you want to listen to what you are saying? You let a family that wants a coup d'etat be the Hokage? Can you see the will of fire in them?" The 2 men walked up to Jiraiya and started attacking. "Jiraiya, tell me, do you think anyone would approve of an Uchiha being the Hokage? Don't say the village won't wrongly accuse them. Even if they did, so what? They are a little dissatisfied in their hearts, and instead of thinking about clearing their suspicion, they only think about a coup. With such an extreme personality, is he suitable to be a Hokage? What do you think of the cage? A long park bench that anyone can sit on? If it weren't for your teacher's pressure, the village would have dealt with the Uchiha long ago. If we let them become Hokage, will the village still have a peaceful life?" Jiraiya stared at the 2 old guys in front of him in amazement. How much do these 2 old guys dislike the Uchiha? No. It's not that serious, right? Uchiha have always been very reliable companions on the battlefield. Did Itachi have a Shiso who could perform instant transformation before? The two Hokage advisors wanted to say something else but were interrupted impatiently by Sarutobi Hiruzen. That's enough. You two put the documents down and get out first. Jiraiya and I have something important to discuss. The two of them angrily slammed the documents in their hands on the table. No matter what, Uchiha must not become Hokage. Otherwise, Konoha will be destroyed in their hands sooner or later. After saying this, the two left the Hokage's office one after the other. Sarutobi Hiruzen returned to his desk, picked up the pipe on the table, lit it, and took a puff. You heard what they said. No one in the Uchiha clan is suitable to be Hokage. As he said this, a figure appeared in his mind and Itachi's heart. The village definitely comes before his family, but Itachi doesn't trust him very much, otherwise he wouldn't have kept hiding the truth about Shisu's death from him. Itachi's thoughts are too deep. So deep that even an old man like him finds it difficult to see through them. Itachi concealed the truth. Could it be that he was afraid that he would protect the real murderer? He is the Hokage. How could he do something like that? So, Jiraiya, the most suitable person in the village right now is you. Become the 5th generation of the village. Only you will always put the village first. You are my disciple, and I believe in you. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at Jiraiya with burning eyes. Jiraiya's scalp tingled when he looked at him, especially the documents left by the two consultants just now, which are up to his ankles. If he becomes Hokage, how long will he have to wait to see them? No. The Hokage will never do this. How about I go and bring Tsunade back for you? I think Tsunade is more suitable to be the god aim of the village than I am. Being rejected again, Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have aged 2 years. He sighed. I'm afraid we're running out of time. Jiraiya's expression suddenly turned serious. Teacher, did something happen in the village? Is it related to Uchiha? If that was the case, then he couldn't leave Konoha for the time being, at least until the Uchiha problem was resolved. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Jiraiya explained the reasons and the causes and consequences of the incident. Basically, he discovered that the village might have misunderstood the Uchiha. This matter is actually very easy to explain. If the Uchiha had another pair of Mangekyo, they would have been unable to resist launching a coup long ago, and would not have dragged it on until now. The culprit behind the Nine Tails rebellion is most likely Uchiha Madara. Now Itachi has become the clan leader in order to prevent the Uchiha coup, and has been buying time for him, waiting for his reply to the Uchiha. As for what he had to do, it was to find a candidate for Hokage or acting Hokage as soon as possible. Afterwards, he took all the responsibilities on his shoulders and resigned from the position of Hokage with a bad reputation during this period. He examined many candidates who were suitable to be the acting Hokage. Nara Shikoku and Yamanaka Inoue are currently the most suitable candidates. He was still hesitating, but then Jiraiya returned to the village. Jiraiya took a deep breath and said, is that so? Then I will find Tsunade for you as soon as possible and have her return to the village to succeed the 5th Hokage. Then, I will look for Uchiha Madara for the village. After all, that guy is the culprit who killed my disciple. Jiraiya, don't be impulsive. How can you be a match for Madara? Of course I know that. I'm just looking for his traces. If I get anything useful, I'll pass it back to the village. Since there's nothing else to do, I'll go look for Tsunade first. Sensei, you can hold on for a few more days. Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly stopped Jiraiya, who was about to leave. Wait, Jiraiya, who was about to leave through the window, turned around and asked, is there anything else, teacher? Chapter 37. Each other. There's indeed one more very important thing. Then, Sarutobi Hiruzen talked to Jiraiya about Konan. Jiraiya looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen in disbelief. Teacher, are you serious? You want me to buy something from my disciple, and at the lowest price? I am one of the 3 great ninjas of Konoha, and you don't want to save face. Sarutobi Hiruzen's old face turned red. Ahem, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, Jiraiya, the village is poor. Even the Land of Fire can't afford to stock up too many exploding talismans that cost 1,000 taels each. Zille looked up at the sky in silence. Can he say no? No. If the Ninja World War breaks out again, these are all things that can save the lives of my fellow villagers. Okay, then after I find Tsunade, I'll go to the Land of Rain again. How many more exploding talismans does the village plan to buy? That depends on the price, Jiraiya said narcissistically. Given the relationship between Xiaonan and me as a master and disciple, I am afraid that Xiaonan will not want this money. In that case, the village will not give you any money. Just take as much as you can from your disciples. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen's shameless face, Jiraiya was stunned. Sarutobi-sensei, If I had your thick skin, Tsunade would have been pregnant with her third child this year, and the name Naruto wouldn't even be used by Minato's child. Sarutobi Hiruzen rubbed his nose in embarrassment. Same here, what you said is quite shameless. Jiraiya bowed and said, thank you very much. I am still a little inferior to you, master. Where? Stop. Jiraiya directly interrupted the nonsense that Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to say. Let's get down to business. Even if Xiaonin really doesn't care about my money, as his teacher, it's not right for me not to give it to him, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen took out a scroll that he had prepared long ago and handed it over. This scroll contains 500 million taels. The village previously purchased it at 1,000 taels per scroll. You can buy as much as you can out of the 500 million taels. At present, there is no ninja village in the entire ninja world that is not afraid of Konan. Sarutobi Hiruzen calculated it in the Hokage's office. There are 31,536,000 seconds in a year. Xiaonin is 23 years old this year. That is 725,328,000 seconds. 100 billion divided by the number of seconds Xiaonin has lived in the past 23 years. Even if Xiaonin doesn't eat, drink or sleep every day, and only makes detonating talismans for these 23 years, he can make 138 detonating talismans per second. This is just the result of calculation after learning that Xiaonin has 100 billion detonating tags. Who knows how many detonating talismans Xiaonin has? She can easily give her man 100 billion detonating talismans, so who would believe her if she said she didn't have any more? Uchiha clan land in a forest. Sasuke looked back at Fugaku, who was standing behind him. Ever since my brother became the clan leader, my father has taught me how to practice more often. This made Sasuke very happy. He was actually hiding a secret that only his mother knew. This time, he must give his father a surprise. Fugaku folded his arms and nodded slightly. Uchiha throwing has always been the basic skill that an excellent Uchiha ninja must master. Let's start. Sasuke flipped his palms and 3 shurikens appeared in each hand, which he threw hard at the target on the tree not far away as expected. All hit the bullseye. There wasn't much surprise on Fugaku's face. Sasuke's talent is still inferior to Itachi's at this moment. Sasuke turned his head, and in his eyes there was a pair of single Magatama Sharingan. Sasuke tried to look stern, but he couldn't suppress the smile on his face when Fugaku saw Sasuke's eyes. His eyes widened. What? Fugaku couldn't hold back his serious face for a moment. He walked quickly to Sasuke and stared into his eyes for a while. 6 years old, his second son awakened the Sharingan at the age of 6. You can't really blame him for being too excited. Is there anyone in the clan who has awakened those eyes at the age of 6, as expected of me? Sasuke was still waiting for Fugaku's praise with a proud look on his face, but who knew that Fugaku would only say half of the words and not say the remaining 2 words? Sasuke looked at Fugaku with expectant anticipation. Father, please keep talking. Please continue talking. Fugaku looked distressed when he said this. He thought of Itachi. The originally excited mood was somewhat dampened by the guilt that quietly rose in my heart. He decided that he still couldn't put too much pressure on Sasuke. I'd better wait until I get back to my room before I can enjoy myself secretly. So, he swallowed the last 2 words back. The expression on Fugaku's face returned to calm. Not bad. Keep up the good work. That's all for today's training. Let's go back and eat first. Sasuke was like a dog who wasn't patted on the head by his owner. He had a lost look on his face, said oh without interest, and followed Fugaku slowly, step by step. Wait until you get home. Fugaku sat at the dining table, glanced at Mikado, and said with some dissatisfaction, such a big thing, you didn't even tell me. Mikado looked at the uncontrollable smile on Fugaku's face and explained, Sasuke wanted to give you a surprise, so he begged me to keep it a secret from you. Fugaku glanced at Sasuke, who was begging for praise, then looked at Mikado. Just as a smile appeared on Sasuke's face, Fugaku asked, did you awaken your Sharingan because you saw your own death on the live broadcast? The smile disappeared from Sasuke's face. Why does this food suddenly not smell good anymore? Mikado didn't want to pay any attention to Fugaku and rolled her eyes at him after they finished eating. Mikado stopped Sasuke, who wanted to go out to continue training. Mikado stuffed the banknotes in her hand into Sasuke's hand and said, Sasuke, we're out of katsuobushi and tomatoes at home. Go buy some. Sasuke looked confused. Why doesn't mom go by herself? Every time, it is my mother who goes to the street to buy vegetables by herself. Mikado's expression froze for a moment. Mom doesn't want to go out anymore and just wants to stay at home. From now on, the task of buying groceries will be left to you, Sasuke. Should she tell Sasuke that she was afraid of others calling her sister Mikado? Even if she didn't scream, she couldn't accept the strange looks from others. Sasuke patted his chest and accepted the task. Leave it to me. Not long after Sasuke walked out of the house, he met two radical Uchiha clan members in the past. They would basically ignore children like Sasuke in the clan, even though Sasuke was the son of the clan leader. But after the live broadcast, they saw Sasuke's future strength. Uchiha has always respected the strong, of course. Uchiha Itachi, the traitorous clan leader who favors the village, does not count. The two clan members smiled. Good afternoon, Sasuke-chan. Sasuke waved and also greeted, good afternoon. Looking at Sasuke's back running away, a smile appeared on the face of one of the tribesmen. As expected, little Sasuke is still well behaved. Another member of the tribe murmured, Sasuke, you must surpass that Itachi guy as soon as possible. It's actually quite interesting to say that among most members of the Uchiha clan, few recognize Uchiha Itachi as the clan leader, but they all recognized Sasuke. Chapter 38. We are all used to it. On a street in Konoha, several Uchiha ninjas stared at the group of people in front of them with their sharingans. An Uchiha ninja, standing in the front, said coldly, a group of outsiders came to Konoha and dared to bully the villagers. Take them away. Yes, several Uchiha came forward and started to arrest people. If they encountered resistance, they would directly use Sharingan illusion to control the other party. In a short while, more than a dozen people from outside the village were controlled. The local villagers of Konoha looked at the scene happening before their eyes, and each of them showed an expression of great satisfaction. The security forces have finally done something that impressed me. Not bad, not bad. This is the first time I see an Uchiha guy so pleasing to the eye. A group of outsiders who were making trouble were cursing loudly. Even us? We are guests of Konoha. With the attitude of your police force, it's no wonder your villagers hate you so much. Hey, hey, hey. I'm not causing any trouble. I've only been here watching the show. Why are you arresting me? A member of the security force snorted coldly. No matter who it is, as long as they cause trouble, the Uchiha will enforce the law impartially. Be honest. As soon as these words were spoken, there was a burst of applause. The image of Uchiha has changed a lot in the eyes of the villagers. This is much better than the group of village ninjas who maintain law and order. One of the ninjas from the small ninja village who came to see Naruto asked the local villagers of Konoha, looking at the attitude of these police force members, I know that your life must be very difficult. Someone else echoed, yes, there is no room for negotiation. No matter how small the crime is, or even if they have committed no crime, they will be arrested and interrogated. Who would tolerate such a police force? A villager laughed and said, we are all used to it. It would be strange if their attitude changed for the better one day. The villagers beside him said proudly, we local villagers can only be bullied by the Uchiha people. Who do you think you are? How dare you bully us? The outsiders' mouths twitched when they heard this. The captain of the guard unit couldn't help but twitch his lips, pointing at the villager and saying, you also come back to the guard unit with us. Copy the sentence. The Uchiha guard unit never arrests innocent people 100 times before you go home. What do you mean by bullying you? If you haven't done anything wrong, would we arrest you for no reason? Seeing that what he said was justified, a certain Konoha villager said dissatisfiedly, why don't you arrest people for no reason? My mother is over 70 years old. Last time she was setting up a stall, she was forcibly taken away by you. A Fire Country citizen not far from him was a little surprised. Will they also capture an old lady in her 70s? Even if she set up a stall in the Fire Country capital, they would just drive her away, not to mention an old lady in her 70s. No wonder the Uchiha clan is so unwelcome in Konoha. Now I know the reason. The captain of the security force snorted coldly and said, it is not allowed to set up stalls there. This is an order issued by the village. If you want to blame someone, you should blame the village. The Uchiha enforced the law impartially. After saying that, he turned around and ordered, Team 1 and Team 2 take the people back, and the rest continued patrolling. Security force Astral Room. An Uchiha clan member looked at the man in front of him with a 3 Magatama Sharingan and asked, you. What did you do wrong? Tell the truth. Don't force me to torture you with a Sharingan. Beating and insulting the local villagers of Konoha? Is there a problem with 7 days of detention? The outsider was so frightened that he didn't dare to breathe. Don't dare. This is where hardliners come, and even if the village's ninjas were sent to maintain order, they did not dare to offend these foreign guests too much. But Uchiha never tolerates other people's faults. If they offend, then they offend. Are Uchiha afraid of offending others? Another interrogation room. The Uchiha clan member looked at the foreign female ninja in front of him and asked, what have you done wrong? The female ninja's eyes sparkled with hearts. I was arrested because I deliberately approached the security team members. Can you let me see the cute little Sasuke? He's so cute. And he'll be so handsome when he grows up. Uchiha clan member, you? The Uchiha opened his mouth, but was speechless for a moment. After a while, he managed to say, you have good taste. The female ninja looked at him with hope in her eyes. Can I take a closer look at Sasuke? Just one look is enough. The Uchiha refused without even a second thought. Sasuke is the son of our clan leader. Brother, he practices very hard on weekdays and rarely leaves the Uchiha clan territory. If it goes as expected, you probably won't see him, so give up. The female ninja is lost, is that so? Then I'd better go find Naruto. Naruto is more down to earth. Yesterday I saw an outsider ninja touch Naruto's head. If I'm lucky, maybe I can do it too. The streets of Konoha. Sasuke stood in front of the stall, pointing at the few tomatoes left and said, I want all of them. How much? You are Uchiha Sasuke, so what if it's me? The vendor stared at Sasuke, which made Sasuke feel uneasy, but Sasuke still held his head high. He was ready to be looked at with hatred. The vendor said generously, since you are Sasuke, no matter what you buy, I will give you a 70% discount. Valid forever. From now on, as long as you come to my stall to buy something, I will sell it to you even if I lose money. Huh? Why? Seeing Sasuke's surprised expression, the vendor smiled and said, because in the future you will be a hero who sacrifices himself to protect the people of the ninja world. I believe everyone in the village likes you very much, too. Sasuke was stunned. He said in disbelief, will they all like me? But I'm an Uchiha. How is this possible? Just as he was questioning himself, the surrounding villagers heard the noise and gathered around. Isn't this Sasuke? He's the only Uchiha I don't dislike. Yes, after all, he is a hero who sacrificed himself to protect everyone. Sasuke, you are a different Uchiha. There is no doubt about it. We all really like you, that's right. I believe that you must be a great ninja, Sasuke. That's certainly worthy of all of our admiration. Come and buy at my stall, Sasuke. I won't charge you. Consider it my way of repaying you in advance. My stall is the same. If you like something, you can take it directly. If you can't carry it, I will help you carry it to the entrance of the Uchiha clan. One of the Chunins also spoke up. Yes, Sasuke, if you can't carry it, I will use my shadow clone to help you carry it. Sasuke was somewhat flattered by the kind words from the villagers around him. Is this the treatment that an Uchiha like him can enjoy? Is he dreaming? Soon, Sasuke bought all the necessary vegetables according to Mikado's instructions. Even if the vendor refused to take the money, he would throw it on the stall before the vendor could say anything. Sasuke quickly scurried off. For a while, he found it hard to accept the villagers' enthusiasm. Chapter 39. I Don in number 039, want to be this Hokage even if I kill myself. Behind him, there was a Chunin shadow clone who was also carrying a lot of bags. Sasuke's face was full of helplessness. He walked away and said, give the things in your hand back. I won't accept them. The Chunin shadow clone brought 2 large bags of vegetables in front of him and said, these are all gifts from the villagers. Do you really want to refuse? Sasuke hesitated. The shadow clone smiled and said, just accept it with peace of mind, just like Naruto did. This is what you deserve. Sasuke was confused. Naruto? What happened to him? The shadow clone sighed. Naruto? He is treated differently than before. Now whenever he goes out, no matter where he goes, there will be crowds of people around him. If he passes by a store and takes a second look at a certain product, someone will buy it and give it to him. So Sasuke, just accept it with a clear conscience. It's not something expensive, just some food. Sasuke nodded in understanding. Is that so? He originally felt sorry for Naruto's experience, but after learning about Naruto's current situation, for some reason, he began to feel unhappy with Naruto again. This feeling was very inexplicable. Of course, this is how a hero should be treated. Sasuke was shocked. Hey, uncle. I'm talking about Naruto, not that I want to accept these dishes. Rain counter. A burst of space fluctuations came. Nagato stretched out his hand in that direction. Shinra Tenzhen. Boom. After a puff of smoke, the masked man Obito walked out unharmed. Most of the building behind him was destroyed. Obito said darkly, Nagato, what do you mean? Konan protected Nagato's body behind her, and dense paper shurikens appeared around her. Don't you understand what I mean? Otherwise, why don't you explain first why you have the Rinnegan in the future? Obito saw the wary looks the two gave him. He knew that live broadcast would definitely have an impact on his plans. Obito spread his hands and said the excuse he had prepared long ago. You may not know one thing, that is, after the Uchiha awakens the main Gekiyo Sharingan, as long as the Yang release chakra in a body is replenished, there is a chance to awaken to Samsara. So Nagato's Rinnegan is from the Sage of Six Paths, and I was able to awaken the Rinnegan in the future because I transplanted Hashirama cells and perfected the chakra in my body. Think carefully, is the Rinnegan you see on the screen the right eye of my main Gekio? Nagato thought about it and realized that Uchiha Madara's Samsara eye was indeed his right eye, and he immediately believed it about 70% of the time. You said that the Rinnegan evolved from the main Gekio. Obito looked at Nagato and explained, it's impossible for the Six-Path Sage to be a sage from birth, right? Couldn't the Six-Path Sage's Samsara eye be evolved from the Sharingan? Konan warned, I still doubt you. If you don't want to die, I advise you to stay away from Nagato. Okay, I'll stay away from him. Obito took a few steps back with a helpless tone. Is this safe distance okay? Xiaonan said coldly, don't play dumb, you know what I mean. What she meant was that the masked man Uchiha Madara should not come to see Nagato again. Nagato asked Obito in a cold tone, tell me why you came to see me. Obito sighed in pretense, I believe you can see that this live broadcast is not friendly to us, according to the information sent back by White Setsu. Anoki of Iwagakure has sent a message to convene a 5-cage meeting to discuss a plan to deal with me. I haven't awakened the Samsara eye yet, so I don't have the strength to fight against the entire ninja world. If the live broadcast next month exposes Akatsuki's plan, it will be a big trouble, so we have to think of a countermeasure. Nagato and Konan were both a little worried about this. Nagato asked, so do you have any plans? Obito narrowed his eyes, my plan is to find an opportunity to capture Uzumaki Naruto, the savior of the ninja world, and give him to you to train. He is now at the age with the greatest plasticity. As long as you instill your peace philosophy in him, he may become a good helper in the future. Nagato was thoughtful. Konan and I have also thought about this. Naruto's current situation must be better than before. This is because the people in the ninja world understand the pain he has suffered. So even the villagers of Konoha should not treat Naruto the same way as before. Konan agreed, I think Naruto will join Akatsuki in the future because he has realized this truth and wants to use this truth to bring eternal peace to the ninja world. As the savior of the ninja world, his strength must be very strong. Perhaps even more powerful than the war weapons made by collecting the tailed beasts. This should be the reason why they will give up capturing the tailed beasts in the future and leave everything to the Nine Tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto. Right, especially after knowing that Naruto might be a member of the Uzumaki clan. Nagato felt very fond of Naruto, whom he had never met. Obito turned and walked outside. Given the current situation, it will undoubtedly be very difficult to take Naruto away, but I will look for an opportunity. 3 days later. Fire Nation inside a pub. Tsunade and Jiraiya sat opposite each other. Don't even think about it. There's no way I'll go back to be Hokage. Jiraiya took the wine flask in front of him and took a sip. After swallowing the wine, he once again said earnestly, I have told you everything I need to say. You also know the difficulties the old man is in now. You can't just sit there and watch the Uchiha-ku, right? No matter what the result is, it will not be good for the village. Tsunade pouted, it's not as serious as you say. There are people left in the village. Why do you insist on asking me to go back and be that crappy Hokage? When the old man steps down, will he throw all the problems to me to solve? Jiraiya was stunned for a moment. Problem, the Uchiha-ku was such a big deal. Even in that story it was not a trivial matter, and it was only a matter of time before it was exposed. Teacher Sarutobi has already thought of a solution to this difficult problem. What should we do if we encounter other problems in future live broadcasts besides the exposure of the Uchiha-ku? Jiraiya looked odd. The old man is stepping down as Hokage at this time. Could it be that he feels that he is incapable of doing it and wants to avoid those complicated problems? Tsunade said dissatisfiedly, who knows? I feel that this is probably the case. The old man doesn't want to face those troublesome problems, so he wants to throw all the problems to the next Hokage. Having said that, Tsunade took a sip of wine. So Tsunade, do you still not want to return to succeed the Hokage? Tsunade shook her head decisively, I won't go back. I'd rather die than be the Hokage. The best solution I can think of is to let Uchiha Fugaku be the Hokage and leave all the problems to the Uchiha themselves to solve. Hearing this, Jiraiya looked at Tsunade in shock. Can we look at the problem from this perspective? He also suggested that Uchiha be the Hokage, but he didn't think too much about it. Chapter 40 Naruto and number 039, S Pressure. The problems of the Uchiha clan and the future conspiracy of Uchiha Madara can all be left to the Uchiha to deal with. Just give them a 5th generation position. Jiraiya smiled bitterly and said, The only difficulty is that the villagers and the two advisors may not approve of Uchiha Fugaku being the Hokage. After that, he couldn't help but complain. You didn't see the attitude of those two old guys towards Uchiha? Tsunade shook the bottle already empty. I only know that if it were my grandfather, he would definitely not be prejudiced against Uchiha. The old man is a ninja who inherited my grandfather's will of fire. I believe he can do this too, but the actions of those two old guys are understandable. Since the establishment of the ninja village, except for Kinkaku and Jinkaku of Kumagakure and the special case of Kurigakure, no ninja from any ninja village has ever thought of a coup, let alone the ninja clan. Forget it, let the old man deal with these problems himself. Muai village in a remote forest. Chaji opened a bag of potato chips, took out a piece and put it in his mouth. Naruto doesn't look very happy. Shikamaru was taking a nap leaning against a tree. After hearing what Chaji said, he replied, anyone would feel very stressed if they were in Naruto's situation. Shikamaru said that he found it difficult to understand. Isn't it that the guests from outside the village treat Naruto very well? Isn't this a good thing for Naruto? Naruto, who was sitting on a rock in a daze not far away, came to his senses after hearing the conversation between the two and looked distressed. At first, I was really happy when someone recognized me, but as they treated me better and better, I couldn't be happy anymore. The clothes he was wearing now, the refrigerator full of delicious food, the boxes of milk stacked in the corner, the snacks on the table, those people bought them. Oh no, it should be said that it was forced upon him. He refused every time, but it didn't help. Shikamaru scratched his head. It sounds like a good thing, but it is indeed not a good thing for Naruto. Yeah, Naruto nodded heavily. I feel so much pressure. What if I can't save the ninja world in the future? Will I disappoint those who are so good to me? They are so good to me, I don't want to disappoint them, but I haven't become a ninja yet. Shikamaru had a headache. How could Naruto not be under a lot of pressure? What he carries on his shoulders is people's hope. That group of people place their future destiny on the shoulders of a 6-year-old child. In the eyes of many people, this is Naruto's responsibility. After the live broadcast revealed that Naruto is the future savior of the ninja world, that is why Naruto is admired by so many people, because of his halo as the savior. Naruto was feeling a little down. Shikamaru, Chaji, I'm going home first. Seeing that Naruto didn't look very interested, the two of them just nodded. Shikamaru comforted him. Just let everything take its course. Naruto, don't be too stressed. Naruto is an optimist and I believe he will cheer up soon. After sneaking back home, Naruto went straight to bed. He muttered listlessly, I didn't do anything, why do I feel so tired? Just then, Kyuubi's voice came into my mind. Cheer up, Naruto. You should be like your father, who carried you for 10 months. Only he knew how much hardship it was. But even though he knew he would die in childbirth, he still chose to give birth to you. Naruto was furious. That's enough, Big Fox. Someone has already told me that it was my future self. He is not my father at all. Men can't get pregnant. Because of this incident, he was ridiculed by the adults for several days. Kyuubi said sincerely, they lied to you. That's your father. You're the one who lied to me, right? I'm not that easy to fool. Seeing that the fun was completely gone, the Kyuubi didn't bother to pay any more attention to Naruto. Its hatred for humans has not dissipated much. The reason he teased Naruto was just because he found it fun. Since I'm not your incarnation, then I must have parents, right? Who are my parents? Speak, Big Fox. Tell me now. The nine-tailed fox was lying on the ground in the sealed space. No matter how noisy Naruto was, it ignored him. Hey, dog llama, Kyuubi. It dragged Naruto into the sealed space and yelled at his skinny body, damn brat. After roaring, it threw Naruto out again. It was 3 days later when Jiraiya used the ninja frog to send a message back to Konoha Hokage building. No. I will never allow you to quit your teaching job. Give up, Iruka. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the invitation to the 5-Kage summit in his hand with a firm attitude. Hokage-sama, stop it Iruka. I know you're in a difficult situation right now. When you think of Naruto, you'll think of how the villagers mistook you for a pervert. Iruka's mouth twitched. No, Lord Hokage, please listen to me. Sarutobi Hiruzen interrupted Iruka's next words. No. No one in the village is more suitable than you to be Naruto's instructor. You should know that Naruto is the future savior, and you have a great responsibility on your shoulders. This responsibility is even bigger than mine. Iruka grimaced. I knew the result would be like this. Sarutobi Hiruzen stepped forward and patted Iruka on the shoulder. Iruka, it's okay for a man to be a little lustful. Which man is not lustful? Those men who think you are a pervert, are they not lustful? No. They are the same, they just don't want to admit it. Hokage-sama, I didn't. Seeing Iruka's aggrieved look, Sarutobi Hiruzen put his hands behind his back. As a man, you must be brave enough to admit your true thoughts. So are you a pervert too, Sandame? Sarutobi Hiruzen remained calm. Old man, when I was young, I was somewhat similar to you, but now I am old and no longer interested in those things. Iruka thought. I don't know whether he was thinking that Sarutobi Hiruzen was not manly enough, or if he was really getting old and had no interest in certain things. Iruka, young people should be more restrained. As seen on the live broadcast screen, you found 3 people at once, Hokage-sama. It was just a conversation. It wasn't like we were on a date with 3 people. Okay, Iruka, no need to explain. If there's nothing else, you can leave first. I have important things to deal with. Yes, Lord Hokage, having failed to achieve his goal and being considered a pervert by the 3rd Hokage. Iruka reluctantly left Sarutobi Hiruzen, returned to his seat and put the invitation to the meeting aside. The exact time of the 5-Kage summit is still under discussion. What really troubles him right now is another matter. He picked up the information that Jiraiya had just sent back. It would be a lie for him to say that he was not disappointed because Tsunade was unwilling to return to the village to succeed a 5th Hokage. No matter how much she persuaded him, he is already old. If any problems arise during live broadcast in the future, he, an old man, will definitely not be able to handle it. As for the solution written in the intelligence, letting Uchiha be Hokage is the best choice. Sarutobi Hiruzen lit the tobacco in his pipe and took a deep breath. He needs to think about it again. Chapter 41 Agreement. Rain Country. In the reception room, Konan looked at Jiraiya with a complicated expression. Long time no see, Jiraiya-sensei. Ahoha, it's been a while, Xianen. You've really grown into a beautiful girl. Hearing this extremely familiar and heroic laughter, Xianen's eyes flashed with memories. Why are you alone? Where are Yahiko and Nagato? Seriously, we haven't seen each other for such a long time, and you didn't even ask to come out and meet me. Your teacher. Hearing this, the complex expression on Xianen's face disappeared, and he said without any expression, they are very busy and can't get away for the time being. Jiraiya saw all the changes in Konan's expression. His expression suddenly turned serious, and he asked, from your looks, your current situation doesn't seem to be very good? Is it because of the detonating talisman that those big ninja villages put pressure on you? Xianen didn't say anything, but just asked, Teacher Jiraiya came to the Rain Country because of the detonating talisman. Konan, tell me the truth and don't change the subject. You are my disciples. If you are threatened by those big ninja villages, I will do my best to help you. Xianen was distracted for a moment. Teacher Jiraiya, are you here to buy a detonating talisman for Konoha? Jiraiya was stunned. It's Yahiko and Nagato. Which one is in trouble? Xianen, no. When Jiraiya heard Konan's denial, he was immediately certain. No. Something must have happened to one of them. Was it Hanzo of the Salamander who did it? Teacher Jiraiya, are you still going to buy the detonating talisman? If not, please leave immediately. We are very busy. Jiraiya looked at Konan's eyes, which had begun to turn red, opened his mouth, and was speechless for a while. He was already certain that something must have happened to his disciple, but if he continued to ask, it would be like stabbing a knife into Xiagnen's heart. Jiraiya said dejectedly, yes, I am here to buy detonating talismans for Konoha. I brought 500 million ryo. Konan took out a scroll and placed it on the table. There are 1 million detonating talismans in here. Consider them as my gifts to the teacher. At this point, Xiagnen's body turned into pieces of paper. Once you have the scroll, please leave. Jiraiya-sensei. Jiraiya sighed. Are you going to hide this from even a teacher like me? Xianen didn't answer and his figure disappeared completely. A week later, Hokage building. At this time, there were a total of 6 people sitting at the conference table in the Hokage's office. They are Sarutobi Hiruzen, 2 advisory elders, Nara Shikaku, as well as Itachi and Fugaku. Itachi and Fugaku, I called you here this time because I want to discuss something with you. Yes. Hokage-sama. Fugaku crossed his arms and glanced at Itachi. If only he was so loyal to his family. After discussions between me and the 2 village advisors, we have decided to give Uchiha a chance to become a candidate for Hokage. What? Fugaku looked stunned. The 2 consultants looked a little grim and said nothing. Itachi was also a little confused. Hokage-sama, this is inappropriate, right? How can a family that wants a coup d'etat become Hokage? After hearing what Itachi said, Fugaku had the idea of domestic violence for the first time in his life. At this moment, he really wanted to slap Itachi hard on the back of the head. This rebellious son is really a traitor. Midamanen said without any expression. Of course this is conditional. The village also needs to see the changes in the Uchiha clan. The first is to completely abandon the coup, the second is to eliminate the villagers' hatred towards the Uchiha, the third is that you sign an agreement that everything is based on the village, Sarutobi Hirozen added. As for the content of the agreement, you can take a look at it. If you can accept it, all the Uchiha clan members will sign it. If you can't accept it, then the village and the Uchiha will have to remain in a stalemate until there is a result. I believe Itachi has already told you my decision without reservation. As he said that, Sarutobi Hirozen handed a letter of agreement to Itachi, who was very close to him. Itachi took it carefully, as if afraid that if he moved too much, he would ruin the chance of stopping the clan's coup once and for all. Fugaku nodded and took the agreement from Itachi. He opened the agreement on the table and said as he read it, Itachi told me a lot. From the perspective of the village and from the perspective of the Uchiha, the issue of the Nine Tails Rebellion is indeed different. I also felt from Itachi's words that you want the village to be peaceful and stable, but this also requires the understanding of you senior leaders. The Uchiha did nothing. The third generation has already understood this. I hope you can also stand in the Uchiha's perspective and think about the treatment the Uchiha has suffered over the years. Yuta Kaharu frowned and said, Hirozen did tell us that the village has misunderstood the Uchiha over the years, but there is no solid evidence to clear the Uchiha of suspicion. As long as the masked man Uchiha Madara who attacked Konoha does not show up, the Uchiha will always be suspected. I hope the Uchiha can also consider the issue from the perspective of the village. Sarutobi Hirozen had just taken a puff of his pipe and nearly choked. He didn't care too much and quickly tried to smooth things over. After tomorrow, ahem. I will make this public to the villagers, ahem. Admit my dereliction of duty, and then go to the daimyo to resign from the position of Hokage. Shikoku will temporarily serve as the acting Hokage, Shikoku explained. Currently, the only person in the village who wants to become Hokage is Yamanaka Inoichi of the Yamanaka clan. If the Uchiha clan does not sign this agreement, then the fifth generation will be taken by Yamanaka Inoichi. This is an opportunity for Uchiha. It depends on whether Uchiha is willing to completely change himself for the position of Hokage. Fugaku turned the page of the agreement on the table. Doesn't it mean that even if Uchiha loses to Yamanaka Inoichi in the election for Hokage, this agreement is still valid and Uchiha must abide by it? Itachi whispered, Father, there are no excessive demands in this agreement. This is what all the ninjas in the village should do. The Uchiha can't always be treated specially like this. Fugaku glared at Itachi. I personally accept this agreement, but I still need to discuss it with my tribesmen. Evening Uchiha clan. Most members of the Uchiha clan sign their names on this agreement. There is a chance to become Hokage without risking the extermination of the clan. Only particularly radical members of the clan want to fight the village to the end. Elder Uchiha picked up the pen and squinted his eyes at the last clause of the agreement for a long time. He looked around at the crowd and said, Are you sure that Uchiha Madara, who caused the Nine Tails Rebellion, was not a ninja from our clan pretending to be one? Because the last clause of the agreement reads, if the true identity of the masked man Madara is revealed in a future live broadcast, and it is revealed that he is not the real Madara but a member of the Uchiha clan in disguise, and the real murderer has been hiding in the Uchiha clan, then please Uchiha voluntarily resign from the position of Hokage and strictly abide by all the above regulations. The Uchiha clan members all looked around with suspicion. Don't even say it. They also began to suspect that it was done by their own people. It is unforgivable that Uchiha was made to bear such a huge blame. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42, Konoha Village is in turmoil. The Uchiha clan members all looked around at the surrounding clan members with suspicion. Don't even say it. As soon as the elder mentioned this, they also began to doubt Madara-sama is not the type to hide his head and show his tail. If it was really done by a ninja from the clan, he let Uchiha take such a big blame. That's simply unforgivable. No one admits it, right? Should we still sign it? After all, it will cost us a lot. You have to trust our people and sign it. I will never sign it anyway. This is too outrageous. The agreement actually requires each of us to put the village and the villagers first. Doesn't it mean that even if the villagers point fingers at me and scold me, I can't do anything to them? Last time, two ignorant guys said that we Uchiha would only hide behind during the Nine Tails Rebellion. Why should I try to please those guys? Instead of getting the approval of those ignorant guys, it would be better to directly stage a coup and seize power from the top. You must sign for me today. Do you want to drag all the tribesmen to be buried with you? For the sake of our family, please sign your name. My child is only 4 years old this year. If the coup fails, he will also be implicated. I don't want to take any more risks with you. Sorry, I don't want to die yet. Late night Sarutobi clan. A flock of crows flew overhead in the room. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was suffering from insomnia due to too many worries, suddenly opened his eyes at this moment. What came into view was a pair of Mangekyou Sharingan. Do not resist the Genjutsu, Sandaime-sama. I will tell you the truth about Shisu's death. Hearing the familiar voice, Sarutobi Hiruzen breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that his actions have completely gained the other party's trust and illusion. Sarutobi Hiruzen found that he had actually put himself in Itachi's perspective in a forest. A masked Itachi was leaning against a huge rock at this moment. A noise came from the sky. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked uncontrollably, "Is it Shisu?" Only 2 short words came from the sky. "Come over." Sarutobi Hiruzen took off his mask uncontrollably and narrowed his eyes. My body couldn't help but follow the two of them came to a cliff. Shisu, who had his back to him, spoke. The Uchiha coup can no longer be stopped. Once Konoha starts a civil war, other countries will definitely take advantage of the situation and invade. War is inevitable. I wanted to use Kido Matsukami to stop the coup, but Danzo took my right eye away. Having said that, Shisu turned around. He doesn't trust me. He is determined to protect the village in his own way. I'm afraid he won't let go of my left eye. Before that, I'll give this eye to you, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Shisu dug out his left eye. I can only ask you, my dear friend, to protect the village in the Uchiha name. A crow flew from the sky, grabbed the left eye with its claws, and then turned into black feathers and disappeared. Itachi asked. I accepted it. What are you going to do? If I die, the situation will probably change. As he said this, Shisu's body fell toward the back of the cliff. If you are still my friend, Sarutobi Hiruzen shuddered. Suddenly his face was filled with shock and anger. Danzo. You did a great job, Shisu. He is the descendant of Kagami. As expected, there was no reason why Shisu, who had the ability to stop the Uchiha coup, would not use his ability and instead commit suicide to weaken the Uchiha's morale to stop the coup. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked ashamed. Jing, I am sorry for you. It's all my fault that I didn't control Danzo well. The next day early morning, the villagers of Konoha village discovered that there was a notice posted every 100 meters or so on the streets of the village. There are a whole page of words, and the general content is this: the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to the daimyo today to resign from his position as Hokage. The cause was his dereliction of duty during the Nine Tails Rebellion. The mysterious masked man who controlled the Nine Tails was Uchiha Madara, who had no connection with the Uchiha clan. As the third Hokage of the village, he directly concluded that it was the Uchiha who did it without any evidence because of his prejudice against the Uchiha clan, and he also formulated a series of policies against the Uchiha clan. First, during the Nine Tails Rebellion, he intercepted the Uchiha ninjas who wanted to come to help, resulting in heavy casualties in the village without the powerful help of the Uchiha. Later, the Uchiha clan was relocated and placed under 24-hour surveillance. Uchiha could no longer tolerate this and wanted to rebel against the village leaders. There will certainly be a lot of bloodshed and sacrifice. Fortunately, with the joint efforts of Uchiha Fugaku, captain of the security force, and Uchiha Itachi, patriarch of the Uchiha clan, they successfully stopped the Uchiha's rebellion, appeased the emotions of the Uchiha people, and avoided unnecessary bloodshed. Next, many stories were told about the Uchiha's contributions to the village. For example, although he has a tough attitude, he is not afraid of power and enforces the law impartially. Since Uchiha took over the security force, the village's security has improved significantly. There is also bloodshed and sacrifice on the battlefield. He had made great achievements in battle and made Konoha famous. Even the elders of the Sands village once commented on him. If you encounter an Uchiha in a one-on-one fight, you must run away. Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third Hokage, reflected on his mistakes and decided to resign from the position of Hokage. There are two candidates for the fifth Hokage, Uchiha Fugaku and Yamanaka Inoue. The final result is determined by the villagers voting. The deadline was set for a month later. When the entire Konoha village saw this notice, it was in an uproar. The outsiders of Konoha village also had their fill of watching the show. So there is such a thing? The third Hokage. Oh, I don't know how to defend the third Hokage. The Uchiha is also a victim. Sarutobi Hiruzen has been in power for so many years and is still very popular among the people. Sama Sandaime is clearly taking all the blame on himself. I don't believe that those bad-tempered Uchiha guys are just resisting, huh? I can finally talk about this. The third generation has been suppressing this matter and strictly prohibiting private discussions. Seeing that so many people are unaware of it, I am so anxious. The Nine Tails Rebellion was indeed controlled by the Sharingan. I really hated the Uchiha guys at the time. I didn't expect that they were also misunderstood. But what was wrong with the third Sama in this matter? Anyone would mistakenly think that it was done by the Uchiha clan, right? That's right. The third hero is absolutely innocent in this matter. It was clearly the evil Uchiha Madara who did this. Why should the Uchiha clan, who knew nothing about it, bear the responsibility together with the third hero? I am also one of the people who knew about the Nine Tails Rebellion. At that time, I thought that the Nine Tails was controlled by the Uchiha clan. Not long ago, I saw Drunkard taunting the Uchiha clan members of the security force, saying, "You should hide behind like you did during the Nine Tails Rebellion." At that time, I really wanted to tell him that the Nine Tails was controlled by the Sharingan. How could the Uchiha guys help? Now the truth is out. It was the third Hokage who didn't let the Uchiha go. We have always misunderstood the Uchiha. Damn Uchiha Madara. Chapter 43 The Filter Hidden in the Eyes of the Third Generation. The Uchiha are so pitiful. Those who know the inside story think that the Nine Tails is controlled by the Uchiha clan. Those who don't know the inside story think that the Uchiha clan are all cowards who can only hide behind, if you say so. Haha. Why am I feeling a little gloating? I am also a little bit gloating. They still want to seize power from the third Hokage? They don't really think that we, the Konoha ninjas, are just here to do nothing, right? How could we let an Uchiha become Hokage? I will go and vote for Yamanaka Inoue right away. The Uchiha are indeed pitiful. I will vote for the Uchiha. Am I the only one who doesn't want to step down for 3 generations? Root Sarutobi Hiruzen was wearing a divine robe and was followed by a large number of Anbu. Hiruzen, why haven't you left yet? When Danzo saw Sarutobi Hiruzen, he felt a sense of uneasiness in his heart. Before I leave, I still have to take care of some things. Like you, Danzo. Danzo's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? It means exactly what it says. I want to avoid all potential dangers in the village's future. After saying this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes became fierce. Danzo, let me ask you a question. What's that on your right eye underneath the bandage? Danzo's expression changed drastically. This. Hiruzen, you know that my right eye has gone blind from protecting the village. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head inside. No, Danzo. Your right eye is Shisu's eye. As soon as he said this, the Anbu behind him were all shocked. Some people even took half a step back. It can be seen that they have also heard of Shisu's illusion technique of instant body movement. Kakashi, in particular, seemed to be afraid that his men would be controlled by Danzo's illusion, so he quickly pulled down his forward protector, revealing his Sharingan, and prepared to deal with Danzo's illusion. Just at this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand. Capture Danzo. Hiruzen, please listen to my explanation. I didn't. Stop talking. Danzo. Since I can come to you today, it means that I already know the truth. Just as the Anbu ninja was about to step forward, several root ninjas who had no thoughts of their own stood in front of Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at Danzo with fierce eyes. Danzo's face looked very ugly. You all stand down. Yes. Lord Danzo. Danzo allowed the Anbu ninja to control him, even sealing his chakra, and did not resist. Monkey, I'm doing this for Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted. Shisu is the descendant of Kagami. How could you have the heart to do that to him? Danzo also shouted loudly. Shisu, the Uchiha's #1 master, is the confidence of the Uchiha-ku. Once Shisu dies, no matter how fierce the Uchiha is, they will not dare to coup. Only in this way can the village take the initiative. This is just your one-sided statement. If it weren't for you, I believe Shisu could have solved the Uchiha-ku problem by himself, and it would not have developed to this point. After that, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave another serious order. Take out Danzo's right eye and seal it in a container. Seeing the Anbu begin to remove the bandages from his eyes, Danzo said anxiously, Hiruzen. The village cannot be without hardliners. Sarutobi Hiruzen ignored him. Hiruzen, you're going to regret this. Danzo, I am still the Hokage. Fire Nation. The Anbu ninja watched Sarutobi Hiruzen walk and then bump into a tree, and couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth ahead. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was in a trance, came back to his senses. He knew that everything Danzo did was for Konoha, but he also did it to save Danzo's life. For this, he also took the blame for Danzo during the Nine Tails Rebellion. He sent people to stop the Uchiha ninja who wanted to go over to help. This was actually done by Danzo. Unfortunately, It doesn't help much to just let Danzo take the blame because the live broadcast is likely to expose what Danzo has done at that time. Danzo would not just be sent to the Kazuna Castle prison in the Land of Grass. There is a high possibility that he will be executed directly. Danzo did a lot of evil things without telling him, including transplanting the first generation's cells, secretly conducting human experiments in secret, ambushing Shisa to seize the Sharingan, and sending the root ninjas to capture war orphans in the ninja world. Imitating the blood mist policy and letting these children kill each other. Danzo also teamed up with Hanzo of the Salamander to force to death one of Jiraiya's disciples in the Land of Rain. There are many things among them that Sarutobi Hiruzen only just found out about. Some were obtained by reading the memories of root ninjas, and some were recorded in the root intelligence room. If the other ninja clans in Konoha knew that Danzo was coveting Uchiha's bloodline limit, then the ninja clans whose blood and secret techniques have never been leaked will definitely unite to put pressure on the Hokage to deal with Danzo. But many of the things that Danzo did, although inhumane, were indeed for Konoha. The surprise attack on Shisu was intended to deprive the Uchiha of the confidence to launch a coup by capturing war orphans and emulating the blood mist policy. The village no longer needs to worry about the problem of root manpower, and the root ninjas are indeed a group of very useful tools. Danzo forced Jiraiya's disciples to death because he wanted to suppress the Akatsuki organization and did not want a second voice in the Rain Country. An old and no longer ambitious leader of the Rain Country is the easiest to control according to the records that Sarutobi Hiruzen obtained from the root. One of Jiraiya's disciples also possessed the Rinnegan, and Danzo's most important goal should be to covet the Rinnegan. However, he was beaten so badly that he fled back to the village like a stray dog, and even the root ninjas he brought with him were all killed in the Rain Country. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyelids twitched wildly, and he murmured, "My old friend, how much hatred have you brought to Konoha? I don't know if the Rinnegan in the Rain Country is related to the Rinnegan of future Madara. I'm afraid one of them was taken away by Madara. Otherwise, how could there be three Samsara eyes in the ninja world? Having only one pair is shocking enough." Muai village, however, within just one morning, a huge gap had opened up in the votes between the two candidates for Hokage. The difference between the number of votes for Fugaku and Heiai was more than 5 times. It can be seen that although Uchiha is a victim, he is still not very popular among the villagers. Of course, the Uchiha clan members want their clan, the captain of the security team, to succeed as Hokage, so they learned from their mistakes and decided to start with small things. Set a small goal for yourself. First, eliminate the villagers' hatred towards Uchiha. It was at this moment that the tribesmen serving in the security forces began their actions on a street in Konoha village. Uchiha Yuta, the squad leader of the security team, looked at the two villagers in front of him. He forced a stiff smile on his face, and his voice was no longer as serious as before. "Why are you two fighting in the street?" The burly villager glanced at him, pointed at the villager opposite him and said, "This bastard just laughed at me. He said I should find a boyfriend. He was the first to make a move." This shrill voice successfully made Uchiha Yuta's smile less stiff. "What about you? You were the one who mocked him first, so why did you attack this villager?" Chapter 44. How can I save Uchiha? Another thin villager pointed below himself. "See? There's bleeding here. I just had surgery at Konoha Hospital, and I laughed my ass off just because of the way he spoke. Couldn't I mock him? I couldn't help but hide him, and he was the one who mocked me and asked me why I didn't bring sanitary pads. You laughed at me so hard that I broke the thread. You deserve it." Uchiha Yuta pursed his lips. "I already know the reason for this." The burly man looked aggrieved, and his not-so-small mouth curled up. "Then we'll follow you back to the police force, right? Let's go then," Uchiha Yuta said to him solemnly. "No. You are the victim in this matter." After that, he looked at the skinny villager and said, "You laughed at others first, causing your own line to break. Then you mocked others, and after being mocked, you beat others. According to the rules, you have to go back to the security unit with me. Is there a problem?" When the sturdy man saw that the security forces had no intention of arresting him, his eyes suddenly widened. Fortunately, the skinny villager knew he was in the wrong and said angrily, "No problem, it's my fault." Uchiha Yuta nodded and said, "In that case, I'll take you to Konoha Hospital to sew the stitches back on." The two villagers were shocked and looked at Uchiha Yuta in disbelief. The sturdy man had a complicated expression. "I'm sorry, I misunderstood you, Uchiha, before." "Yet, me too." As he said this, the thin villager wanted to bend down and bow to apologize, but when he bent halfway, he grimaced in pain. Uchiha Yuta was somewhat flattered by the friendly attitude of the two villagers. It was also the first time he had seen villagers so friendly towards them. "It's just a misunderstanding. It's all in the past. Also, don't forget to vote for our clan leader, please." The skinny villager asked curiously. Your clan leader. I remember there was no election for Hokage, right? Uchiha was stunned. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. It's our captain. An unnatural look flashed across the faces of the two villagers. The thin villager said, well, I'm very sorry. I voted for Yamanaka Inoue when the election was first announced. The strong man also had a look of regret on his face. I met him when I was coming back from voting for Yamanaka Inoue, and he mocked me. Uchiha face darkened. The skinny villager nodded and said, yes, he was shouting on the street before, asking everyone to support Yamanaka Inoue. I laughed at him because I was amused by his shrill voice. Uchiha, what can I do to save Uchiha? On another street Uchiha Takuma looked at the hunchback not far ahead. Struggling violently in his heart and unable to make up his mind, he kept comforting himself in his heart. All this is for Uchiha. For the clan leader to become Hokage. Uchiha Takuma appeared in front of the old lady. In an instant the old lady was frightened by him and took a half step back. What are you doing? I haven't done anything wrong. Uchiha Takuma forced an ugly smile on his face. Grandma, can I help you over there? No. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me. I'm lying on the ground. Uchiha Takuma, sure enough, doing this kind of thing is more painful than killing him. His face turned red and he ran away in embarrassment. Uchiha Takuma returned to his clan's territory. The Uchiha elder looked at him and asked, Takuma, why are you back? I'm not going. Anyway, the other tribesmen are enough, and they don't need me. It's not a pleasant feeling to be rejected, let alone the embarrassing situation just now. He has already developed a psychological trauma from this. The elder sighed and said, looking at your expression, I know what you've been through. Were you rejected and hated by others? Uchiha Takuma gritted his teeth. Yes, those ignorant villagers. How dare they reject the Uchiha's kindness? The elder shook his head and said, Takuma, you must overcome the difficulties. If Uchiha wants to become Hokage, he must change the villagers' attitude towards us. Uchiha Takuma slumped to the ground. I feel like this is harder than fighting people on the battlefield. Let others change their attitudes. I won't do that again anyway. The experience just now really embarrassed him. Takuma, do you want an Uchiha to become Hokage? Of course I thought about it, the elder said solemnly. Then you must do these. Seeing the elder's serious look, Uchiha Takuma stood up and asked, is there a reason why I must go? Yes, you have a reason to go, the elder explained, because the most important thing in the agreement is the change of the clan and the attitude of the villagers towards the clan. The other things are not important. Sarutobi Hiruzen's move is an open conspiracy. Conspiracy? Uchiha Takuma murmured. Yes, a month is enough time for people to get used to something, including the Uchiha's attitude towards the villagers. Do you think there are no inside stories in the voting for the Hokage? No, there must be. If a clan cannot do something that satisfies the Konoha high-level officials, the number of votes will never exceed Yamanaka Inoue. Do you believe this? And if we want Fugaku to become the Hokage, we must let the villagers see an Uchiha that is centered on the village and the villagers, and let them get familiar with this new Uchiha in this month. This requires the clan members to make the choice. Although Shinobi is old, don't forget that he has been the Hokage for his entire life. It's not surprising that he can think of this kind of boiling frog strategy to make the Uchiha integrate into the village. Uchiha Takuma looked horrified. Is this true? This kind of strategy? How is this possible? He is clearly playing everyone in his hands. The elder smiled and said, why do you think those two old guys suddenly don't object to Uchiha being Hokage? Isn't it because an Uchiha who integrates into the village is what the previous Hokage want to see the most? If it can be done, what's the harm in giving Uchiha a Hokage? Uchiha Takuma looked confused. Then, even if the Uchiha really did it, what if the village regrets it? The elder asked in return, what will you do if the village goes back on its word? I will make Konoha pay the price. Do you think the village wants to see such consequences? At this moment, Uchiha Takuma realized, these days, I have figured out a lot of things. If Uchiha does not integrate into the village, he will not be recognized by others. Even if the coup is successful, he will not be able to become Hokage. So, force yourself to do things you don't want to do, Takuma. Once you take this difficult first step, you will find that things are much simpler than you thought. Just like Itachi said, radical members of the tribe who are dissatisfied and want a coup will drag all the tribe members to be buried with their dissatisfaction. Uchiha Takuma fell into deep thought, but in just a moment, he made a choice in his heart. Uchiha Takuma said to the elders solemnly, I understand, elders, I will definitely make Lord Fugaku the Hokage. Chapter 45 Naruto is kidnapped. On the streets of Konoha village. Grandma, can I help you over there? The old lady's body trembled. She looked at the Uchiha in disbelief. No. No need. I can get there by myself. After being rejected again, Uchiha Takuma was not discouraged and began looking for his next target during this period. He also met many tribesmen. After a moment, Uchiha Takuma found his target. He swore that this was the best target he had ever seen. This is an old lady who is leaning on a cane and has a very kind face. At this moment, she is moving forward little by little. This kind of old lady is very old. She has difficulty walking with a cane and seems to have some problems with her eyesight. I believe she wouldn't be too averse to Uchiha. Just as he was about to run over, he saw a familiar figure take the lead and support the old lady. Grandma, let me carry you home. Uchiha Takuma was struck by lightning. He gritted his teeth and said, Uchiha Taka. I saw that first. This bastard. Uchiha Tihiro ignored him completely. The old lady looked at the iron fire in front of her carefully, and asked hopefully, is it, little Obito? Uchiha Takuma paused. They lied to me, didn't they? You didn't actually sacrifice anything at all. Uchiha Tihiro opened his mouth, but ultimately chose to remain silent. The old lady waited for a while, and when she saw that the other party didn't answer, she fell silent. The loneliness on her face flashed away, and then she smiled and said, thank you very much, Uchiha child. The words Uchiha child made both of them stunned. Is this real? Are there really villagers who are kind to the Uchiha and treat the young Uchiha as children? Uchiha Tihiro seemed to be greatly encouraged. He hurriedly walked to the old lady and bent down carefully, fearing that his butt would hit the other person. His appearance amused Uchiha Takuma. Seeing Uchiha Tihiro carrying the old lady on his back, he hurriedly followed. He asked curiously, Grandma, you are so old and your legs and feet seem to be inconvenient. Why don't you stay at home? I'm going out. It's for little Obito. To vote for the Uchiha? Uchiha Takuma stood there in a daze. He stared blankly at the old lady on Uchiha Tihiro's back, his pupils trembling constantly. Is this what it feels like to be recognized by the villagers? The old lady's words were like tearing a hole in his dark and claustrophobic world, letting in the warm and gentle sunlight. His heart, which was broken by the villagers today, is being healed at this moment. HP, +1+1+1. At this moment, a thought suddenly popped up in his mind, that is, everything he did today. His choice is worth it, just because he met this kind of old lady. This huge fluctuation of emotions made him feel that his pupil power had increased a bit. He was nostalgic for this feeling. He swore in his heart that he must gain recognition from more villagers. Time passed day by day, and soon it was the night before the live broadcast. Hokage building. The Sandame really knows how to choose the right time to step down as Hokage. Shikoku gave a wry smile. Udatane Kaharu smiled and said, it can't be helped. We are old and our minds are not as flexible as you young people. The perspective of this live broadcast is mainly from Konoha, which is not a good thing for Konoha. We old guys have too many issues to consider, and our brains are often unable to turn around. It is better to leave these difficult problems to you young people. Shikoku rubbed his temple. What about the Uchiha? Have they been in any trouble lately? Everything is moving in a good direction. Every day, we get recognition from so many villagers and so many votes for Uchiha Fugaku. This has already formed a culture of comparison within the Uchiha clan. I believe that the first and second generations will be very pleased when they see this. At this time, boom boom boom, there was a rapid knock on the door. Enter, acting Hokage. The masked man Uchiha Madara has appeared. He used some unknown means to capture Naruto, who was playing with Shikamaru and Kage. One of the four Anbu who was protecting Naruto was pierced through the body by the masked man's wood release and died on the spot. What? Shikoku stood up suddenly. Quick! Mobilize all ninjas, find the masked man and take Naruto back from him. Oh, and notify the Uchiha clan. Ask them to help as well. Although he was very worried about the safety of Shikamaru and Kage, the situation was urgent and he didn't dare to ask about it because of his responsibilities. The sky above the entire Konoha village was filled with countless ninjas, like a swarm of locusts passing through, but their wish to bring Naruto back is likely to be dashed at this moment. Obito had already taken Naruto away from Konoha. A group of Konoha ninjas gathered at the entrance of the village, with swords drawn and looking around in confusion, not knowing which direction to chase. Late night. The meeting room in the Hokage building was filled with people. They discussed topics such as Naruto's capture, whether to report Naruto's capture to the ninja world, and the masked man's use of wood release. Please be quiet, everyone. The acting Hokage spoke and the noisy voices in the conference room suddenly disappeared. Shikoku glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen and Fugaku, and finally looked at Itachi. Have you decided yet? Itachi, yes. I will definitely bring Naruto back from the hands of the masked man Uchiha Madara. Leave this matter to me. Seeing Itachi's firm attitude, Fugaku's eyes flashed with complexity, and he warned, you can only use your wits to defeat him. Remember, no matter what situation you encounter, don't be reckless, wait for the best opportunity. Because you are facing the real culprit behind the Nine Tails Rebellion, and that guy may really be Uchiha Madara. If he wasn't competing for the position of Hokage, he would have wanted to go undercover for the masked man in Itachi's place. It's a pity what he carries on his shoulders is the hope of his clan. Sarutobi Hirozen glanced at Fugaku, then said to Itachi, if you want to go undercover with a masked man, you need to become a traitorous ninja of the village. You must think carefully. The village owes you so much, you don't have to bear those things for the village anymore, Itachi said solemnly. Naruto is related to the safety of the entire ninja world. I have made up my mind, then we'll leave this all in your hands, Itachi. You must bring Naruto back to Konoha. The next day Rain Country. Naruto's illusion was finally lifted and he slowly opened his eyes. Naruto froze at the unfamiliar surroundings, his mind recollecting last night he was about to say goodbye to Shikamaru and Choji when a masked man suddenly appeared in front of him and then he lost consciousness. This is where? This is the land of rain. As soon as he finished speaking, Tendao Pain pushed open the door and walked in behind him. Zion dragged a food tray and put it on the table. Naruto swallowed and asked nervously, who are you then? Why did you bring me here? Tendo Pain said calmly, do you see my eyes? They are called the Rinnegan, the eyes of the Six Paths Sage. And I am the reincarnation of the Six Paths Sage. The reason I brought you here is that I want to personally train you to be the savior of the ninja world and guide you to bring peace to the ninja world. This is both your mission and my mission. Naruto's dull eyes were like mosquito coils. What? Chapter 46. The third live broadcast begins. 3:55 p.m. in the Pure Land, people who had long been dead began to regain consciousness, and the familiar screen appeared before their eyes again. Lower right corner of the screen. Qiu Li looked at Abe and asked, is there really no need for me to do anything else? During this month, Qiu Li also watched a lot of live broadcasts, including those about eating, playing games, the supernatural, and all kinds of things, but there was no simple short video. However, considering that the cultures of the two worlds may be different, I believe that if you only watch short videos, there will be some live broadcast effects. A month has passed, and Qiu Li's desire to share the plot of Naruto has long disappeared. Abe stretched out his claws. You have asked this question 5 times. Aren't you already following many bloggers who make short videos of Naruto? Those people in the other world are very interested in these, so don't worry. Qiu Li was completely relieved. After opening the short video app, he said, I'm a little nervous. I need to go to the bathroom. After saying that, he put his phone on the table. Ninja World Minaga Shrine. All the ninjas in the Uchiha clan gathered here. Of course, this time they were not discussing the coup, but how to rescue Naruto. If the Uchiha came to rescue Naruto, then the Uchiha clan would definitely completely eliminate the villagers' prejudice. Even though the screen appeared in front of him, Elder Uchiha continued to chatter with a serious expression. The Uchiha clan members sat cross-legged and listened attentively. On screen a microphone was handed to a foreign girl dressed in a very Shamit style. Question: if you were to rate your own appearance, how would you rate yourself? The Shamit girl looked very confident. Very good. My facial features are very attractive and my figure is also very good. Screen turn. The microphone was passed to a slightly fat white man. The person who interviewed took out a photo of the young lady just now. Question: if you were to rate this lady, how many points would you give her? Oh thanks. What the hell is this? It looks like a damn lizard to me. Question: if you were to rate yourself, how would you rate yourself? 10 points. Although I have an average appearance, I am photogenic and I have a very strong physique. Minaga Shrine. Elder Uchiha, so we must assist Itachi and turn the whirlpool. Puff. At this moment, even someone as serious as Fugaku couldn't hold back his expression. Pure Land Kushina murmured, it's been a month, and people know that you are the savior of the ninja world. Your life should have changed now, right? Naru, Pucci. Ho. I was really sad. You really ruined the atmosphere. You're so annoying. Screen. You really look like a lizard. Ha. The other side. Minato pursed his lips and tensed his face. That's a bit disrespectful, but she really seems to. On screen, the microphone was passed to the Shamit girl again. The interviewer took out a photo of the fat man. Question: if you were to rate him, how would you rate him? The Shamit girl covered her mouth in surprise. Oh. What do I see? His face is like an ancient flower-growing family's toilet, and his figure. Oh. My god. It's like a piglet standing up. Sand Hidden Village. Hearing Shukaku's wild laughter, Gaara couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth. This evaluation can also be applied to you, Shukaku. The word anger appeared on Shukaku's forehead. You damned little brat, I'm going to kill you, Gaara said calmly. Did I get it right? Are you anxious? Temari's shoulders kept shaking. She poked Gaara's shoulder and said with a smile, Gaara, don't talk to Shukaku like that. Gaara turned his head and said, none of your business. Then he said to Kankuro, who was not far away, shut up too. Your laughter is more piercing than Shukaku. Kankuro stepped forward, put his arm around Gaara's shoulders, raised his eyebrows, and said with a playful smile, what does that matter? I'm your brother. Right? Gaara. The next moment, he was pushed several meters away by a wave of sands. Gaara frowned and warned, if you touch me again, I'll kill you. Ninja World. Ha. These two people talk so funny. What does "oh thanks" mean in his comment? Why does it feel like an interjection? His face looks like a toilet bucket, and his body looks like a piglet standing up. They are really good at capturing characteristics. Haha. Most people in the ninja world were amused by this video. However, what they didn't know was that they laughed too early. Soon they will know what it means to be overjoyed and then be sad on screen. In a busy vegetable market, a man suddenly snatched a woman's bag. Before he could run a few steps, the messenger of justice appeared in front of him and blocked his way. He was a young man wearing a red tight short-sleeved shirt. The young man first shouted, stop, then he took out his phone, played the DJ, and put the phone back in his pocket. He walked towards the robber step by step. When he got closer, he jumped directly in front of the robber and started dancing the social dance in front of everyone. While dancing, he shouted his own quotations loudly. The boy is as fierce as a wolf, and his chest is beating with passion. Carry the classic quote on your shoulders. Don't act arrogantly in front of me. The bright lights and wine make people drunk. Big brother will help you mix with the society. Wipe your nose first, then pull up your pants, and start your journey into society. The robber seemed to be infected by him. He put down his backpack and started dancing the social dance in front of the young man. Dabe, Ninja World. Oh thanks, the live broadcast is using this trick again. My ninja shoes are torn. Help. I don't want to see this. Someone come save us. My friend's embarrassing body keeps twitching. It's no exaggeration to say that this is 10,000 times more embarrassing than the last video. I was so embarrassed that I banged my head against the wall. Wow, I'm so embarrassed that I'm crying. Seriously, the live broadcast is too much. The smile that was still on Kaguya's face was disappearing little by little compared to her. Kushina, who is in the Pure Land, reacted much faster. Kushina's face had already been distorted beyond recognition. The spirit Hashirama on the other side was already crying anxiously. Please, live broadcast. Let me watch the video of the girl calling a man hubby on the street. Don't let me watch this. I really can't stand it. Madara lowered his head and looked around. He's looking for a burrow. He wants to bury his head in the ground. This old man really can't understand it. Why would someone do such a thing? How could he endure such embarrassment? Muai village. Uchiha clan land. Sasuke, who was alone at home, blushed and slapped the low table in front of him, trying to vent his embarrassment. Seeing that the two people on the screen were still dancing, and even a few more people were watching, Sasuke was so anxious that tears dropped down his face, and he cried like a pear blossom in the rain. No. Stop jumping. He is on the verge of mental breakdown. After a while, Sasuke, who was clutching his hair tightly, slowly raised his head in his eye sockets. A single Magatama and a double Magatama Sharingan suddenly appeared. Chapter 47-1. Let's witness the birth of Emperor Kai. In a house in the Uchiha clan's territory. Dad, my eyes. My eyes hurt so much. Yuki? What happened to you? Your eyes. You awakened those eyes. Ho-ha. You actually awakened those eyes at the age of 5. A year earlier than Sasuke. My son, he is such an amazing genius. Lower right corner of the screen. Qiu Li is finally back. He was sitting in the computer chair and just picked up his phone when he saw two people dancing the social shake. Qiu Li. He swiped to the next video almost instinctively. This is a stress-relieving video of brushing a carpet. Seeing this, everyone in the ninja world breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, I don't have to watch this video anymore. Anyway, dying in embarrassment is dying, and dying because of a disaster in the ninja world is also dying. On my own behalf, I declare that the new savior of the ninja world is the host. I agree. Naruto hasn't saved us yet, but the host has. Rain Country. Naruto lay on the bed with his tongue hanging out. Woo. I'm finally saved. Zayatanin curled the corners of his mouth. Even though the video was embarrassing, the sight of Naruto rolling around wildly on the bed just now was indeed quite funny. Tendo Pain also looked relieved. Lower right corner of the screen. Qiu Li looked at the options of follow, recommend, and same city, and clicked on the option of follow. These are all the bloggers he has followed in the past month, and they only contain various edited videos of Naruto. Let's witness the birth of Kage together. On screen, 6-year-old Might Guy is riding on his father Might Guy's shoulders, trying hard to find his name on the list of qualified candidates for admission to the ninja school. Might Guy kept repeating, "No. No. No." A few beads of sweat dripped down his face. The children around were noisy. "Found it. It's me. I saw my name. Great. Congratulations. Are you here?" Great Ninja World. On this screen, Abrito also saw a figure that was very familiar to him, Lin. That was 6-year-old Lin. She was standing behind Zahikirnai at the moment. She looked up and saw her name on the list, and a smile appeared on her face. People in the ninja world also began to discuss it. This guy, the people in the creator world call him Emperor Kai. It's not advisable to judge a person by his appearance. Since he is recognized by the people in the creator's world, it means that he will be very powerful in the future. You will know after watching him. Really? Why is it that Konoha always produces geniuses and strong people? There's even someone called Emperor Kai in the creator world, Konoha. I've seen this guy before. He always likes to run around the village yelling. I've also seen this guy on the training ground, but I don't see anything special about him. In my impression, Kai is just a Konoha ninja who only knows taijutsu. He gives me a very ordinary feeling. How can he be called Emperor Kai? Does that mean Kai will be very strong in the future? No, I want to challenge him while he's not that strong yet. It feels like Kai must be having a miserable life in the future, otherwise why would the background music on the screen be so depressing? Pure Land. Matai's eyes were moist. Kai? Will your hard work be rewarded in the future? Then let me witness your youth. On screen, Matai encouraged, "Son, look carefully." Might Guy's tears fell from his neck like rain. "No, there's no my name on it." "Dad." Matai raised his head and encouraged again, "Keep looking. Kai, you have already made every effort, and your efforts will not go without any reward. Even if you cry your eyes out, you must grit your teeth and persevere. I will definitely find your name in the end." Might Guy wiped his tears and answered loudly, "Yes." After shouting, he began to search seriously again. Might Guy. Might Guy. Might Guy. Ninja World. When Biwajuzo saw Might Guy, his face couldn't help but twitch. Will I see the birth of another monster? Thinking of the people in the creator world, they call Might Guy Emperor Kai. Will this guy be stronger than his father in the future? Muai Village home? Why do I see the young Kakashi? He didn't even look at the list at that time and just walked past. Is he so confident in himself? You are talking nonsense. Although Kakashi's physical skills are a bit abnormal, his strength has been strong since he was a child. Kakashi is a genius who became a Jonin at the age of 5, a Chunin at the age of 6, and a Jonin at the age of 12. It's just an admission list for a ninja school. How could he not even have this much confidence? On screen, Kakashi walked by calmly. Might Guy still hasn't found his name. Dad, I'm sorry, don't give up. Kai? Look straight at the list. Don't look away, you will definitely find it. Definitely, but in the end, Might Guy still didn't find his name. He was eliminated because of his poor ninja talent. Screen turn. Might Guy was running around the playground. If you can run 500 laps around the playground, you will pass the makeup exam. Not far away from him, a few children were laughing at him. Isn't he the guy who cried bitterly after failing the exam? What is self-restraint? Nonsense. What are you talking about? I think he doesn't know how to use any ninjutsu or illusion techniques, so apart from moving his body, there's not much else to show. Shiranyu Genma, holding a toothpick in his mouth, said calmly, "There is no need to train yourself so hard." In the playground, Might Guy panted and murmured, "For my father who has always supported me, I must succeed." When he ran to the 235th lap, he fainted from exhaustion. The children laughed out loud. Ha ha ha, this isn't even the halfway point yet. In the principal's office of the ninja school, Sarutobi Hirozen watched the scene below. Ninja World. The corner of Biwajuzo's mouth twitched. His premonition grew stronger. A big monster gave birth to a bigger monster. Muai Village. Seeing this scene, I don't need to guess to know that the third generation master made an exception and admitted Might Guy. What are these little guys laughing at? Can they run 235 laps? Forget about the children. Even I, an adult, can't escape. Eh? Have you noticed that the background music in this video doesn't seem that sad anymore? On screen, Might Guy was doing push-ups. 500. 501. 756. 757. Kakashi beside him watched the scene quietly. Screen turn. Kakashi is practicing free climbing. The beads of sweat on his face just happened to drip onto Might Guy's face. Might Guy stared blankly at Kakashi above him. If the genius also works so hard, how can I possibly beat him? The scene changes again. If you can run 5,000 laps around the playground, I challenge Kakashi. Might Guy smiled with satisfaction and said, well said, my son. Chapter 48. Background music. Pure Land. Minato was speechless as he watched Might Guy running around the playground. Why is Guy so obsessed with Kakashi? Even though he trained for a while, 5,000 laps, it seems like he succeeded in the end. You didn't make it to the 500 lap makeup exam at the ninja school for Kakashi. You challenged yourself to run 5,000 laps. There was an uproar in the ninja world. Did I hear you right? This kid wants to run 5,000 laps around the playground? Just to challenge that white-haired pervert. No wonder he's Emperor Kai. If he can really do this, then with such willpower, it will be impossible for him not to become stronger in the future. Uchiha clan Land. Sasuke clenched his fists. How is this possible? At this age, how can you run 5,000 laps? In particular, when Kai ran 500 laps, his consciousness began to blur. Even Kai's father, Madara, was so tired that he fell on the bench when Kai ran 1,500 laps. Minaga Shrine. Even the Uchiha clan members couldn't help but feel a little admiration for Might Guy. It's already dark. What a strong will this is. So there are such people in the village. By the 2,849th lap, Madara, who had been motivating Kai, was completely exhausted. Dark. Kakashi lost in memory. Is that so? On screen Might Guy ran forward slowly, step by step, and Kakashi's back seemed to appear in front of him. Kakashi, I want to fight you. He wanted to surpass this genius who had always been ahead of all his peers. Might Guy gritted his teeth and sped up in front of everyone's shocked gazes until dawn. The 5,000th lap, Kai's knees weakened and he fell into Might Guy's arms. Congratulations. Kai? You did it. Ninja World. He actually ran 5,000 laps. He even accelerated halfway, let alone running 5,000 laps. I have to take a breath after running 5,000 steps, and the further I run, the more tired I will get. In other words, he's relying entirely on his willpower to support himself. I'm leaving this to you. No matter how powerful Might Guy becomes in the future, I won't be shocked again, because I've been shocked enough today. A child that young actually ran 5,000 laps on the playground. Rain Country. Naruto's mouth opened into an O shape. 5,000 laps. It would take me a long time to count 5,000 times. Konan was also a little shocked, but she came back to her senses after hearing what Naruto said. If Might Guy stands against us in the future, he will definitely become our strong enemy. Shinobis Pain nodded and said, this guy's willpower is extraordinary. Konan sighed. The road to leading the ninja world towards peace is really full of ups and downs. Tendo Pain said calmly, Naruto, eat first. You haven't eaten for a day. After the live broadcast is over, I will take you to practice. Naruto curled his lips and turned his head away. No. Even if I starve to death, I won't eat a single bite of your food. Sealed space. The Nine Tails sensed that these two guys had no ill will towards Naruto and felt relieved. Not that I was worried about Naruto, but if Naruto dies, he will die too. That's it. As for this guy claiming to be the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths, then we can only wait until we see his true form and see if he has the old man's chakra. Even if there was, he thought that given the old man's personality, he might not be reincarnated. At most, we can choose a spokesperson in the ninja world to bring peace to the ninja world. This guy's true form is very likely. Kyuubi suddenly felt a sense of evil interest and said with a sly grin, Naruto, look at that guy. Does he look like you? Naruto suddenly raised his head, moved closer, and carefully looked at Tendo Pain in front of him. Shinobis Pain asked expressionlessly, why are you looking at me like that? Naruto's eyes were full of hope. Are you my father? Tendo Pain, Zion, I'm not your father, but I am one of your people. My name is Uzumaki Nagato. You can call me uncle or teacher, eh? My people, Zion explained. Yes, Nagato is your clansman. My name is Zion, you can call me. Before she could even finish her sentence, Konan, she was interrupted by Naruto's exaggerated shout, wow! Are you the sister Zion in the picture book story? The corners of Shinobis Pain's mouth twitched. Zion's face turned dark. This hurdle is impossible to overcome. Right, Pure Land. Minato exclaimed, you really did it. Kai, Hoshirama exclaimed, this village's younger generation is pretty good. He will definitely become a better ninja than me in the future, Tobirama said with satisfaction. The green leaves of the village are getting stronger with each generation. Izone's eyes widened. And even the little resentment he had towards his elder brother was temporarily put aside. He really finished running 5,000 laps. So impressive. Might Guy, right? Uchiha Izuna. Recognize you. You will definitely become a strong man in the future. The corners of Madara's mouth curved up and he smiled. Interesting. I hope you won't let me down in the future. Might Guy. At this time the background music in the video is even more exciting on screen. Kakashi urged. Alright. Dad. Hurry up, Hatake Tsukumo said calmly. Why are you in such a hurry? The school won't run away on its own. Kakashi put his hands in his pockets and said coolly, it will take some time to complete the admission procedures. When they reached the school gate, they met Madara and his son. Hatake Tsukumo smiled and narrowed his eyes, and greeted politely, nice to meet you. I hope you can take care of my son in school. Please get along well with him. Madara raised his head. No. This can't be done. Hatake Tsukumo was immediately covered in cold sweat. Masaka. Could this be the monster parent? Kakashi turned to look at Hatake Tsukumo and said speechlessly, Dad, you are wrong. This guy didn't get into the ninja school this time. Hatake Tsukumo scratched his head a little embarrassedly and apologized quickly. I'm so sorry. I was prejudiced because we were in front of the ninja school. Madai put his hands on his hips and smiled heroically. That's it. Kakashi crossed his arms. Is this funny? Hatake Tsukumo looked at Kakashi and said, Kakashi. You are very rude. Kakashi looked up at Hatake Tsukumo and retorted, Dad, you are more rude. Speaking of which, this guy wants to enter the ninja school, but he doesn't know how to use ninjutsu. No matter how you think about it. Forget it. If we don't leave now, we will be late. Dad. After saying this, he walked past a mighty Dai father and son and walked forward. Might Guy lowered his head. Are you Hatake Kakashi? Kakashi turned around and looked at him with dead fish eyes. Might Guy gave him a thumbs up and said, thanks for your support. Matt wears bare teeth. A moment later Hatake Tsukumo looked at the backs of Might Guy and his son and said to Kakashi, Kakashi, even if you are admitted to the ninja school, you can't be proud and complacent. Kakashi was puzzled. Hatake Tsukumo continued, if this continues, that child will become stronger than you. Kakashi became even more confused, and asked, that guy? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49, The Excitement Reaches Its Climax. Hatake Tsukumo squatted down and said to Kakashi, ask him his name, you must remember it well later. As he said this, he patted Kakashi's head. You will make a great rival. Kakashi listened to his father very much. He took 2 steps forward and called out, hey, the Might Guys and their son, stop. May I have your name? Might Guy turned around, bared his teeth, pointed his thumb at himself, and looked very confident. Might Guy. From now on I will become a man stronger than anyone else. And Kakashi, who was sitting opposite him, still had those dead eyes. It seems that he doesn't take it to heart. Muai Village Dark. Kakashi's eyes showed nostalgia. Dad. He no longer blames his father. He knew that his father was protecting the will of fire with his life. The background music in the video gradually gets faster on screen. Might Guy crossed his hands in front of his forehead. That is to say, now it is my turn. Is the blue beast to appear? 8 gates of Dungia. The 7th shocking door. Open. A layer of blue steam enveloped Might Guy's entire body. Kakashi and the Anbu's eyes suddenly widened, his eyes filled with shock. Such momentum. Is this the 7th gate of the 8 gates? Kai, on the screen, after Kai opened the 7th gate, a powerful aura erupted with Kai as the center. This aura spread outwards wave after wave, and the range became larger and larger until it submerged the 6 paths. Madara. Everyone in the ninja world looked in horror at Uchiha Madara, who had long white hair, periosteum on his forehead, and a 6-path cloak. Under the sense of immersion on the screen, they have already felt what it feels like to be suffocated, not to mention fighting against Madara in the future. It is even difficult for them to have the thought of resisting the sentient ninjas in the ninja world. Showed fear in their eyes. What's up with Uchiha Madara's chakra? This is too much? It's obviously beyond the scope of a ninja. The black sphere behind Uchiha Madara. I feel like I'll die if I touch it. It's very dangerous. Whether it's Madara or Guy, they are beyond our reach. Ordinary people like us can't intervene in this kind of battle. Let's leave the future to Naruto. I believe that after Konoha village knows that Naruto is the future savior, they will definitely train Naruto well. Compared to Uchiha Madara's oppressive aura, I still think that Might Guy's aura is a bit weaker. In the ninja world, including the temporarily resurrected Three Tails. Everyone looked at Six Paths Madara with a dull look on their faces. Uchiha Madara actually absorbed the Outer Path demon statue into his body. No. I don't want to go back into that golem. Naruto, you must become a strong man as soon as possible. The Kyuubi in the sealed space spoke in a serious tone. Naruto brat, as soon as the live broadcast ends today, you will immediately go and train with that guy. Naruto's face turned pale. This won't be the enemy I will face in the future. Xiaonan had a frosty look on his face. I knew that Madara couldn't be trusted. Even I could sense the unusual chakra from him. Tendo Pain said coldly, you are not wrong, that is the chakra of the Outer Path demon statue. Maybe that guy didn't expect that the live broadcast would expose his conspiracy so quickly. Naruto looked confused. What are you talking about? Xiaonan patiently explained to him, the one who brought you here is Uchiha Madara. And his plan, if I'm not mistaken, is to use us to help him capture the tailed beasts and seal them into the Outer Path demon statue. In the end, he will reap the fruits of victory and absorb the Outer Path demon statue that sealed the nine-tailed beasts into his own body. This is what makes him so powerful. It should be what you said, Konan. If that's the case, we have to give up the plan to capture the tailed beast. Our goal now is to train Naruto. Let Naruto lead the ninja world to peace, the Nine Tails in the sealed space said. Naruto kid, if you want to become stronger, just agree to him. It was enough that it could not sense any malice towards Naruto from Tendo Pain since this Nagato might be the old man's spokesperson. Then Naruto's growth rate in the Land of Rain is definitely the fastest, Konan warned. Nagato, you must never trust Madara again. That guy never tells the truth. Maybe he stole your Rinnegan, Moon, that's my chakra. It's all mine. Divine Space Abito looked extremely bad. It seems like I'm really going to become a homeless dog hiding from place to place. It was too hasty. I should have not sent Naruto to Nagato. He delivered it too early, but it's not a big problem. Since he can sneak into Konoha and kidnap Naruto, he can naturally sneak into the Rain Country and kidnap Naruto again. Pure Land Hashirama looked heavy. Madara, do you really have to stand against the entire ninja world? Tobirama frowned. Has Madara become so powerful? With his perception ability, he could naturally feel how huge the chakra in Madara's body was. This was greater than the chakra of all the ninjas he had ever seen combined. Madara sighed and admitted that he was too happy and ended up in sorrow. He didn't expect that Might Guy's title of Emperor Kai came from him. What's supposed to come has finally come. He can only trust Abito now. There is no need to revive him through reincarnation. Rebirth through the impure world. Reincarnation can also be used. He's not picky now. As long as he can be resurrected, he will be confident that he can achieve his goal. Uchiha Tajima laughed loudly. Ho ha ho ha. Powerful. Too powerful. This is my son. Senju Batsuma. What can your son have to compare with my Madara? Izuna's eyes were filled with admiration and pride. This is my elder brother. He now really wants to meet his elder brother and ask him how he did it. Might Guy, who opened the gate of terror, was very strong, but he couldn't even touch the hair of his eldest brother. No matter what kind of attack Kai used, it would be easily avoided by his big brother. It was not until Kai used the daytime tiger that he was able to repel his elder brother, but he was only able to repel him. Kai was nearly killed by his elder brother with a black sphere. Izuna looked proud, as expected of the man called Emperor Kai. He can push Nissan back so far with just the 7th gate. He firmly believed that even if Might Guy used his ultimate move, he would still be no match for his elder brother. The eldest brother will at most receive a severe beating, and the final winner will definitely still be the eldest brother. Uchiha Clan Land Sasuke has never closed his mouth since Guy opened the 7 gates. He didn't realize that his saliva was about to flow out of his mouth. So Uchiha Madara will become even more powerful? In the future, I will be killed by Madara, who is not as powerful as him. It seems that I am no more than that. At this moment, the background music in the video reached its most exciting peak. On screen Might Guy turned his head. The blue beast of Konoha disappears from now on, and it's time to transform into a red beast. Chapter 50. This is Emperor Kai. 6 Strike Madara, who is in midair, looked down at Might Guy. Red steam? Is this the unique blood steam when the 8 gates are fully opened? But from this point of view, it is nothing special, just like the fallen leaves in autumn. Downward Might Guy's eyes turned white as blood red steam came out of his body. You are right, but I am not done with the withering. I will become nutrients for new green leaves, and when the green leaves sprout and the new year arrives, this is the climax of youth and the moment when it burns the most fiery red. After seeing this scene, everyone in the ninja world held their breath nervously. As soon as Might Guy finished speaking on the screen, his figure suddenly disappeared and appeared in mid-air. Might Guy raised his fist and punched out one foot. A huge shock wave burst out from his fist. Six paths. Madara raised his hands and barely blocked the shock wave. Might Guy opened his mouth and roared. With this roar, the huge shock wave directly blasted Six Paths Madara to the ground. Lying on the ground, Liu Daoben gritted his teeth and endured the impact of Zixiang 2 feet. Might Guy had just raised his fist when there was a crack and his bone broke. This time, the pain made him stop halfway. Liu Daoben was lying on the ground with disheveled hair. Is it a physical technique that hits the air to create impact? In other words, it's an air cannon. When he said this, the horn on the periosteum of Liu Daoben's forehead broke directly. He stood up slowly. If I get hit by that 4 or 5 times, it will probably be very troublesome. No matter what, I have to avoid being hit by these fists. After saying this, Six Paths Madara flew into the air again. It is rare to fight against the 8 gates of Dungia. Since it is so rare, I will be your opponent. Muai Village Hokage building. Shikaku asked solemnly. With such an attack, Madara still wasn't defeated. Hearing what Shikaku said, Sarutobi Hiruzen came back to his senses from the shock. Sorry, I was stunned just now. I didn't expect Kai to be so strong. Although I have heard of his father Might Guy's achievements, it is different from seeing it with my own eyes. Shikaku sighed. Even so, it can be seen that Kai's attack has little effect on Madara. How should we deal with such an enemy in the future? We don't know where Naruto has been taken to yet. On screen, Might Guy clenched his fists and rushed towards Six Paths Madara by stomping on the air. After getting closer, he began to circle around Six Paths Madara, looking for the best opportunity to attack. The speed was so fast that a circle of smoke rose around the Six Path spot. At a certain moment, Rikudo Madara raised his eyes 1 foot. Sure enough, it's fast. As he said that, Six Paths Madara used the truth-seeking ball to transform into a black shield to block in front of himself. The huge shock wave was easily blocked by him before the shock wave dissipated. Six Paths Madara seemed to sense something and turned around 2 feet. This air cannon hit him directly 3 legs. Enough. Six Paths Madara was caught in 4 shock waves and his body was unable to move. Wuzu, he doesn't want to be hit this time. Zai Shuang's moves are more powerful each time. He won't feel good after being hit by this one. Six Paths Madara quickly used a truth-seeking orb to transform into a large black ball to protect himself inside it, and the remaining 5 truth-seeking orbs were shot directly at Might Guy, who was rushing towards him. Qiu Li, who had opened the 6 doors below, threw the flying thunder god Qiu Li towards the front of the Tao-seeking jade. The next moment, Minato appeared in front of the truth-seeking jade. When the truth-seeking jade hit Minato's back, he directly used Flying Thunder God to take away the truth-seeking jade. Together, Gaara stretched out his hand and lifted Kakashi into the air with the sand. Kakashi used Kamui to twist a hole in the ball that the truth-seeking ball had transformed into. Six Paths Madara noticed something, and just as he turned around, a fist wrapped in red chakra hit his back. Liu Daoben vomited a mouthful of blood in the air, and after his body fell to the ground, he slid away for a long distance. Might Guy was breathing heavily after seeing this scene. The ninja world exploded. I finally understand why the people in the creator world call Might Guy the Emperor. Are they still considered ninjas? This is Emperor Kai. He deserves it. Konoha village is so lucky. There are so many geniuses and strong people. We even have a powerful ninja like Might Guy. The Leaf village is really something to be envied. The coordination of these ninjas is so ingenious. Everything is so perfect. I really envy those with high IQs. I accept the title of Emperor Kai. This is my respect for the strong. This time, Uchiha Madara should be defeated, right? I feel like if I were there, I would probably die in the aftermath of this battle. Too powerful. Emperor Kai, Muai village. The Uchiha clan was also in an uproar, but at this moment, they had no time to be shocked by Might Guy's strength. Kakashi's eye is actually the main Gekkai Sharingan. A foreigner can actually open a kaleidoscope that even we don't have. Captain. Why don't we? Shut up. You didn't want to come back then, but you want to come back now? Is this the only tolerance that the Uchiha clan has? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at if you tell others about it? But that's the main Gekkai Sharingan, not even the main Gekkai Sharingan. The clan should have some sense of shame. Humph. That Kakashi guy got a bargain. Don't say that. That Sharingan was given to Kakashi by Ibiro. Lord Fugaku is going to become Hokage. Don't make trouble for no reason. The efforts we have made during this period cannot be wasted. Sand Hidden Village faced with the curious gazes of the two, Gaara felt a little confused. What's up with him in the future? Why would you help this guy? To him, what happens in the ninja world has nothing to do with him. How could he possibly help the ninja world to fight against Uchiha Madara? Fanging off his Luo Shan narrowed his eyes. He recalled Gaara's calm look on the screen. Gaara, it seems that he is not a failed Jinchuriki. In the Pure Land a huge wave of emotion surged in Madara's heart. He also wondered if he would just die like that. Although he knew that his future self would be very powerful, he himself had not yet experienced the power of the life level of Liudeo, so he was naturally unsure. No wonder some people call you Emperor Kai. There really is a reason for that? Kwane covered his chest and said in pain, Nissen, you were beaten so badly, but even an outsider has those eyes? What's going on? On screen after the smoke cleared, Liudeo Madara stood up and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. I haven't been this excited since I fought Hashirama. Can you still dance? Don't you have any other tricks? Keep trying to please me. Might Guy clenched his teeth and a drop of sweat slid down his face. This guy withstood Zaixiang's continuous attacks. The ninja world was filled with wailing. Even a move like that doesn't work? Madara still hasn't been defeated. Faced with such a powerful enemy, I can't imagine what the ninja world would be like without Naruto. Naruto, grow up as soon as possible. Only then can we feel safe. I don't feel safe with Naruto around. Naruto's strength hasn't been revealed in the live broadcast yet. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.